It's Friday, May 22nd. Today, more safety patrols and outreach workers. A new plan by the city and province to address downtown safety this summer. Also today, a mobile supervised consumption site is on its way where the province plans to set up shop. Plus, one step closer to its goal, a local animal shelter gets a big boost to a fundraising campaign thanks to a generous donor. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Friday. We are here at the end of the week. We've made it, and it's going to be a good day. We have Ainsley live at the Prairie Dog Central Railway. They are one of the oldest regularly scheduled operating locomotives in North America. And they have so many cool themes this summer. They have a K-pop demon hunter theme. Ooh. They have all kinds of fun stuff happening. So and then a comedy show as well. So we're going to delve into that, take you on the train, and show you around as well. But the weather, it'll be what's it going to be like for the weekend?
It's going to be hot by the end of the weekend. Kicking off the weekend could get a little bit soggy, but today we're just going to be soaking up that sunshine. It's beautiful out there this morning and well above seasonal. 11 degrees right now with southeast winds 23 kilometers per hour. That pressure is rising. Humidity sitting at 66%. Look at that sky. Absolutely gorgeous out there. Now, here's the thing. Some places will see some precipitation today, likely any folks right along this western border. We're on the clearer side here in the southeastern part of the province and very clear all across northern Manitoba. So a beautiful sunny day up north, but along this western border, that's where these, I was going to say flurries, not at all. It's warm enough that they're in liquid form. These showers will kind of creep up right along that western border, and then you can see that band that cuts through the province. So central Manitoba will also see some of that, but you can watch how it climbs a little bit higher into the north and still moves through parts of central Manitoba, although a little more scattered through the central part and slightly more organized along that western border. Now overnight, speaking of slightly more organized, look at this coming through. So overnight and into Saturday morning, that's when we could be getting our soaking, but really just through the morning hours, clearing out throughout the day Saturday. We'll see a little bit of sunshine coming back again. Saturday will likely be the coolest day, and then all of a sudden the heat gets turned on. My goodness, Mother Nature giving us all the goods and making up for lost time as we're pushing up into the mid-20s and then low 30s for as much as we can see into next week.
Thank you, Terry. More safety patrols and outreach workers are hitting the streets in downtown Winnipeg. It's all part of a $2 million plan to make downtown safer this summer. CTV's Jeff Gill has the details on what these new boots on the ground will do.
This West End thrift shop on the edge of downtown helps those who need it most. The proceeds support Health Sciences Centre, but now the nonprofit is the one calling for help.
We've never seen this kind of drugs, vandalism, etc. in our neighborhood ever. We've been here for, as I said, 21 years.
In recent months, Susan Lockhart says they've experienced a break-in, an attempted arson, and people doing drugs and using their vestibule as a washroom. They've purchased security cameras and sometimes they lock the front door. Plus, they're planning on installing smash-proof glass on the windows and a gate for the vestibule to keep people from loitering.
We've probably spent $13,000 just in security costs, which could have gone to our charity just to keep us safe here.
The thrift shop is not alone.
Seeing so many new faces on the street openly using drugs without care.
Now the province is spending $2.2 million on a downtown summer safety plan, with another $100,000 from the city. The money will be spread out among 4 biz groups and the Downtown Community Safety Partnership.
Making downtown safer is about making sure everyone in Manitoba feels comfortable downtown.
The funds will pay for a beefed-up presence on the streets, more biz patrols and outreach workers, with a focus on de-escalating things before they start and getting those struggling with addictions and mental health towards the proper services.
There will be paid hired positions to connect with people that need supports and resources on the street, but also to check in with businesses to see how things are going.
Susan Lockhart welcomes the plan. She says the street patrols work, but there's not enough of them. She hopes things can get turned around before it's too late.
We provide a valuable service to the community, and so we don't want to close down, but it can be very scary here sometimes.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Some of the money could also be used for other security upgrades like lighting. There is a new timeline for the province's first supervised consumption site. Addictions Minister Bernadette Smith has confirmed the facility will open next month, but when it does, it will be a mobile site.
Some staff have been hired, so the director has been hired. They're interviewing some peer mentors right now and clinical staff, and then once they're hired and trained up, that's when the site will open.
Smith confirms Aboriginal Health and Wellness will run the mobile facility. People will be allowed to inject drugs in the trailer with staff on hand to respond to overdoses, but they won't supply the drugs. Staff will also help guide people to treatment and other services. Mayor Scott Gillingham says it's imperative that all systems are in place prior to the opening.
One of the things that I've expressed, and I appreciate Minister Smith has heard me on this, as of the Premier, to make sure that safety in the surrounding area is prioritized. I know that there's been a lot of dialogue between the province and Chief Bowers and the Winnipeg Police Service as well. There needs to be coordination. You see coordination here. Regarding the supervised consumption site, there needs to be good coordination.
The province maintains they're opening an urgent public health needs site, and they say they can do that on their own provincially. To open the supervised consumption site, they need the federal government to approve their application. Minister Smith says they are going through the exemption process. Alberta separation will be on the ballot in a fall referendum.
Should Alberta remain a province of Canada? Or should the government of Alberta commence the legal process required under the Canadian Constitution to hold a binding provincial referendum on whether or not Alberta should separate from Canada?
It's a referendum question on whether or not to have a referendum. In an address to the province, Premier Daniel Smith says the fall vote will not trigger separation, but a yes will trigger the province to start the legal process to hold a binding referendum. The announcement came after a committee approved the Forever Canada petition, which gathered more than 400,000 signatures in support of staying. The organizer of that petition says this should never have gone this far, but separatists aren't happy either.
Leadership is about making difficult decisions for the good of the country, even when they are from time to time not popular with your own political base.
I think it's just going to redouble everybody's
Question
efforts.
Will be one of 10 on the ballot. The other questions are about immigration and the Constitution. People in Alberta will vote on all of this October 19th. Ottawa Fire Services says 10 fires so far this year have been linked to lithium-ion batteries. These figures come from a response to an inquiry from Barhaven West Councillor David Hill. There are several factors that can put people at risk of battery fires. These include leaving devices plugged in long after they're charged, as well as charging devices on soft surfaces like beds and couches. Officials say proper disposal of batteries is also important when it comes to preventing fires. After more than 30 years, The Late Show has signed off for the last time.
Paul, why are you interrupting me?
I'm just curious when our interview starts. I have an extremely long poem I want to recite, and I don't want to run out of time.
You wrote a poem about me?
I wrote a poem.
Stars like Paul Rudd and Bryan Cranston dropped by during Stephen Colbert's last monologue. The big secret heading into the show was who will be the last guest. There was talk it could be Pope Leo, but it was Sir Paul McCartney who took the couch. McCartney performed in the Ed Sullivan Theatre with the Beatles in 1964. He helped close the show with the song Hello Goodbye, and then it was lights out. The Late Show has been on CBS for 33 years, starting with host David Letterman. As of tonight, its time slot will be filled by Comics Unleashed with Byron Allen. The hippopotamus is often described as the deadliest animal on land, but you can make an exception for this little cutie. This rare Pygmy hippo enjoyed her first outdoor bath Wednesday at the Berlin Zoo. She was born on May 9th and doesn't have a name yet, but zookeepers say the little hippo is developing well and gaining weight steadily. Yeah. She's sweet. Here's a look at what's happening now outside on the Norwood Bridge. Looks like things are moving well over here. No issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you do see anything out there, though, please send us a text at 10400. All right, let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live in Roster this morning, right by a beautiful big train. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. The oldest engine in Canada would be in Manitoba. There's no other way around it. 1882 steam number 3. And the train, the one that's more than a train ride, the one that you can, have a K-pop Demon Hunters themed party, that one's from 1901. Been at this location from Polo Park since 97. But these have been operating since 1970. And it is so cool to learn about the history of rail in Manitoba while also having a great time, because they're really upgrading. They're doing weddings on these things. They're going to do comedy shows. Of course, they're known for their Father's Day. The ride itself is about 3.5 hours and an hour to Rosser. So stay with us as we learn about these really cool pieces.
It's so beautiful, even just being outside and checking that out. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go outside now on the rooftop. Ainsley looked like she had a little bit of a breeze in her hair. How's it feeling out here, Terry?
Yeah, I'm somewhat sheltered from that breeze, but I am in direct sun right now. It is beautiful. And in fact, just in the minute or two that I've been standing out here, waiting patiently for my turn, the sun rose above the building. So actually when I stepped out here, I couldn't see the sun directly. And now it is shining brightly right in eye line. I'm not mad though. It looks gorgeous and I'm so happy to be seeing it again today, especially as we're wrapping up the week. To get to do it like this on a Friday morning, not bad. 10 degrees, we're still in the double digits, but that is down a degree from last hour. And 19K wind out of the south-southeast, pressure rising, humidity sitting at 72%. Yes, and the sun is rising, as I say, although, I mean, it rose before the show even started, but now it's gotten high enough that it's risen above the buildings in the downtown area, putting me in its direct rays, and my goodness, does it ever feel good if you find yourself there. However, some folks won't find themselves directly in the sunshine. Anyone along that western border will deal with the heavier clouds and some scattered precipitation, and also a band through central Manitoba where those showers will be falling as well today. We could see that activity overnight lingering into tomorrow morning, but then clearing up by Saturday afternoon. Sunday is looking gorgeous and sunny with some mid-20 temperatures on tap. And then the heat gets turned up for next week. We've got some 30-degree days for a stretch of next week. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Good morning. Police are continuing their investigation of Thursday's early morning fire, which destroyed the charter bus of a Winnipeg Goldeyes opponent. Police say the incident happened around 2 a.m. yesterday in a parking lot at the Forks. Images captured at the scene by a CTV viewer show a charter bus engulfed in flames as clouds of black smoke fill the air. The bus was chartered by Kane County Cougars, who were in town this week for a 3-game series against the Goldeyes. The team's GM says the Goldeyes helped the Cougars secure a bus to get back to the States. Police say no one was hurt and 2 teenagers were taken into custody. A 15-year-old girl is charged with arson, causing damage to property, and possession of incendiary material. A major crackdown on organized crime in Winnipeg this week led to the largest drug bust in Manitoba's history. The arrests also exposed ties to criminal organizations like Mexican cartels and Hells Angels. CTV's Alex Carpa has been digging into just how widespread the problem is and has more.
Hundreds of kilograms of illicit drugs worth more than $37 million seized in the latest major drug bust in Manitoba.
Officers identified a core network of individuals with international connections to the upper echelons of organized crime groups in Canada, including the Hells Angels, Wolfpack Alliance, and Mexican cartels.
For retired RCMP officer Sherry Benson Podolchuk, hearing about alleged Mexican cartel involvement in Manitoba was unexpected.
I really was surprised that they would be interested in northern Manitoba.
Benson Podolchuk says this bust highlights how these organizations are expanding their reach, not just in Manitoba, but across Canada. Last year, the federal government designated 7 transnational criminal organizations, including some based in Mexico, as terrorist entities. Meanwhile, the U.S. administration has repeatedly claimed cartels are operating in Canada.
Where are all the narco traffickers going to keep bringing this stuff into the country? The northern border.
It's amazing that they were able to get that many kilos off the street.
Benson Podolchuk says this is a major win for law enforcement.
When they realize they're losing $37 million worth of profit and their drugs, they're not going to want to work here again. They'll try someplace else.
She says it's critical for law enforcement agencies to remain proactive and prevent cartel activity from gaining a stronger foothold in Canada. Alex Carpa, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Manitoba students are standing up to highlight human rights concerns.
There's like 4 sections. There's like resilience, cultural celebration, reconciliation, and Indigenous history.
The 6th annual Manitoba Upstander Showcase brought together 200 students and educators at the Canadian Museum for Human Rights. Grade 4 to 12 students presented their projects ranging from musical performances to visual arts and research projects.
Tell me about this project. I think students just brighten up when they get to choose how they're learning, and it also means that we get, I think, the best side of them when they are telling their story the way they're also most comfortable with it.
The showcase is the culmination of the CMHR's Be an Upstander program, which asks students to consider how choices and communities shape their paths and create opportunities for change. Since its launch in 2018, the program has expanded to classrooms across Canada. First Nations communities in northern Manitoba and British Columbia could soon get major projects built faster. The two communities are the sovereign Keewatin Yati Nations and First Nationals Public Service Secretariat. Ottawa is providing $1.8 million in additional funding to help the communities participate in federal consultations.
When consultation is done properly, it creates real opportunities. It brings First Nations into decision-making and makes sure the benefits flow into communities and not past them. This funding will go directly to support these organizations as they create, develop, and strengthen consultation tools to support First Nations' meaningful participation in consultations. That means better training, tools, research, and communications.
The funding is part of a more than $10 million commitment in last year's budget to continue consultation work. It's being spread out over 3 years. Main Street Project is reopening its food bank and essentials market, but it needs some help. The food bank has been closed since mid-January due to smoke and water damage caused by the Manwin Hotel fire. It will reopen next Wednesday, but because most of the food items were destroyed, it needs help restocking the shelves. That's where you come in. Donations can be dropped off at 661 Main Street, Monday to Friday, between 10 and 4. The most needed items are canned food, pasta, cereal, rice, peanut butter, baby formula, and hygiene products. The market supports 150 to 180 people and families each week. The Food and Nutrition Services team also provides more than 1,600 meals every day. 62 people gathered in a pool in Poland for a major championship, but not in the sport you'd think. The World Championships in diving chess took place last weekend. Matches are played on custom-built weighted magnetic boards, which are perfect for the bottom of a pool. Players have to make each move on just one breath of air. Looks tough. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound curb lane and the eastbound median lane on Corden Avenue are closed from Tuxedo to Shaftesbury Boulevard. Following the rush, the southbound curb lane on Main Street will be closed between Boyd and Redwood Avenue. And the westbound median lane on Prevache Boulevard will be closed from Desmarons to Langevin Street. If you have any other traffic tips, please send us a text.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
We're looking now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. It is a gorgeous start to your morning, plenty of sunshine, very clear out there. Not everybody enjoying those clear conditions. Things are a little bit cloudier over through, well, the southwest. Anyone along this western border? Oh, and Brandon. Yeah, blank space there. Your weather reporter, your weather station is not reporting right now, but I can tell you it is 6 degrees in the area. We're in the double digits still over here in Winnipeg. We're the only one in double digits, but mid to high single digits. So 7 degrees, for example, would be a normal high. Or, sorry, a normal low, and that's where many of you are starting out, is in those mid to high single digits. Then there's northern Manitoba, right at the freezing mark over in Thompson, +2 in Churchill. That's a nice way for you to begin, because typically around this time you're still below the freezing mark. Otherwise, very mild, 6 degrees in places like Lynn Lake and an Island Lake, over 5 degrees right now in Flin Flon. Here along the western border is what I'm talking about, with the heavier clouds, the precipitation, and this band of clouds through central Manitoba could also bring some late shower activity. We'll stay in the clear for today, and plenty of sunshine, but a bit of a breeze. You will notice that wind increasing once again, but the mercury also doing so, up to 20 degrees by the time kids are coming home from school, with 21 a seasonal high on tap. Now, with those clouds building up through the afternoon, overnight some showers that'll take us into Saturday morning, and Saturday will be the coolest day, slightly below seasonal, but then suddenly we're back up above normal for Sunday, with the sunshine returning, and from there a little bit of a heat stretch that we'll have, making up for this cold and crummy spring that we've been dealing with. We've got 30 degrees on tap into the middle toward the end of next week. Crazy Hazel having a grand old time out at Grand Beach. This is how I want us all to feel heading on into the weekend. Thanks to Michelle for sharing the photo, and keep them coming to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Good morning. A house on Vancouver Island shines brighter than most. The owners covered it in sparkles at a time when they needed extra light in their lives. CTV's Adam Sawatsky explains.
Long before these flowers began blooming, Joanna Young's doctor said her health was failing fast.
You just said, go home, make out your will, you'll be dead in 5 years.
While she waited for an organ transplant, Joanna and her husband, Vince Rocco, decided to move back to where they grew up.
I came out, went house shopping, found this house by accident.
Joanna was too sick to see it until after he bought it.
And it was the ugliest house I'd ever seen.
But Vince, who's an industrial designer, said it had good bones and promised to transform it into his wife's dream house.
I asked for a black house with sparkles, and he built me a black house with sparkles.
While Vince was sourcing the materials to create and install this wall of mini moving mirrors, Joanna was facing her mortality.
Oh dear, I need to find out all these things for my kids, because I might not be here.
You see, Joanna never got a chance to ask about her past because her mom died young. So when she tracked down her family tree, Joanna was shocked to discover that not only was she Métis, she was related to one of Louis Rial's most trusted confidants.
All of my family are quite famous Métis fighters, and I was like, oh, well, no wonder I'm so feisty.
While her home was so bright, Joanna's prognosis was so bleak. Until the last moment, they found a donor, and she survived the surgery.
And when I woke up, I'm alive, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to do something really special with this gift of life. So I thought, I think I'll try and make my Métis ancestors proud of me.
So along with healing her body, Joanna was learning about her culture and connecting with her community before becoming a Métis elder in local schools, empowering Métis youth.
When I teach in the schools, when we make a medicine bag, it's not just things that you take to make you better physically. It's something that makes you feel good in your soul, and sparkles always bring my spirit up.
And that's how a sparkling house,
life's too short, why be boring, right?
was transformed into an inspiring and healing home. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Souk.
Roy from Ottawa is preparing hard for race day.
Being 100 hasn't made any difference in how I feel.
Roy is about to become the first 100-year-old to take part in Ottawa's race weekend. He's planning to walk the 5K. Roy is a regular walker who also dances and bowls as part of his fitness routine. For race day, Roy will be raising funds for 4 charities. Good for him. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is prosper. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter prosper with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Good luck.
10 degrees to kick off your Friday with some sun shining over us, looking good. South-southeast winds are 19 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising and the humidity is sitting at 72%. Yeah, what a gorgeous way to kick off your morning. Northern Manitoba also getting to enjoy plenty of sunshine, as you can see. So here in the southeast, northwestern Ontario, pretty clear conditions, but you can see all of the activity through the southwest and parts of central Manitoba. That's where the heavier clouds and the shower activity will be today. In fact, this will continue to run up along that western border further into the north, and this band will start to push a little bit further north as well. But here in Winnipeg, 21 degrees. That is bang on seasonal. We'll take it. It will come with an increasing wind, though. However, that southeast wind could at times get up to 50 kilometers per hour. And later this afternoon, we'll start to see those clouds building up, and that'll be right in advance of some shower activity that we'll see passing through tonight. 8 degrees. As far as low temperatures go, it's pretty close to normal. There will still be a little bit of a breeze out of the southeast, and then tomorrow those showers ending in the morning, clearing throughout the day. Tomorrow a little bit cooler, a little bit below seasonal. That's how we'll kick off the weekend, but how we wrap up the weekend will be with the sunshine and the heat coming back again. Just mid-20s on Sunday, and I say just because look what's to come. All of next week, we're looking to climb up into the low 30s. Plenty of sunshine to carry us all throughout the week.
Thank you, Terry. Winnipeg police have arrested a resource center worker and charged him with the sexual assault of a teenage client. Police allege the 38-year-old suspect was working at a Winnipeg resource center when he befriended a teen client. He forged a relationship with them and then lured them to his home, where police say he sexually assaulted them. He's now facing sexual assault, exploitation, and luring charges. None of the allegations has been tested in court. A Winnipeg Animal Rescue is one step closer to its goal of moving into a new facility, and it's all thanks to the kindness of strangers.
When she mentioned the amount, and I go, can you say that again? How many zeros are with that?
Darcy Johnston, owner of Darcy's Ark, says the shelter has outgrown its current space on Century Street. The Ark started a fundraising campaign a few weeks ago to raise money to move into a larger building better suited to its needs. And Johnston says an appearance right here on CTV Your Morning Winnipeg ahead of the fundraising launch led to a big donation.
We had a client who was looking after some cats, and she's tried everywhere to get them into shelters, and all the shelters are full. She saw us on the news, she saw the puppy, and she came down on the Saturday of the barbecue, and she made a very generous donation to kickstart our campaign, which was completely, it was amazing.
Johnston says the shelter is 10% closer to its $1 million goal thanks to the donor. In exchange, Darcy's Ark happily took in 6 cats from the woman who said they belonged to her late brother and is working to rehome them. Anyone looking to adopt or donate can visit darcysark.ca. Everyone knows young people spend a lot of time in front of screens, but as Jacqueline Lee shows you, a new report in the U.S. calls it an urgent public health issue.
Children need to live real life and get off their screens. That's the new Surgeon General advisory, urging children to put down their phones and tablets and, quote, be in the moment.
Our message to children is simple. Life exists beyond the screen.
The Department of Health and Human Services calling this an urgent public health issue and recommending the children's youth reduce excessive screen time.
This statement is needed now. Policy is needed now. It's the responsibility of schools, the community, policy, and the tech industry to be working together collaboratively.
The 40-page document doesn't present any new research, but is a summary of previous studies published by organizations like the American Academy of Pediatrics and Journal of the American Medical Association. The report outlines these recommendations. Children younger than 18 months, no screen time. Under 6, less than 1 hour per day. And kids ages 6 to 18, 2 hours per day. Doctors say too much screen time can lead to a number of health problems.
There can be physical effects, such as kids not going outside, less exercise, increased risk of being overweight or obese. There's also a lot of psychological and emotional effects as well, potentially increasing the risk of depression, anxiety, exposing kids to sextortion, cyberbullying, eating disorders.
But there's guidance for parents who aren't sure how to navigate their children off screens.
The first thing is to model good behavior. That is so incredibly important. You can't lecture your kids about putting down the screens if you yourself are always on a screen at the dinner table.
HHS adding that parents should pay attention to what kids are doing on their screens and the content they are accessing. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Washington.
A shoplifting bust in Ontario has resulted in more than 500 charges and 65 arrests.
They were working in groups. Some of them were working in groups, some of them were working individually, and sometimes a combination. They would walk in, go into the shelves and select the products and walk out.
The thefts happened in Mississauga and Brampton last year. Some of the stores hit include Walmart, Nike, the LCBO, and Shoppers Drug Mart. Police say the financial losses in this investigation are estimated to be more than $250,000. Police say many of the thefts were driven by a small group of repeat offenders who regularly targeted the same stores. They say one mall in Mississauga had 111 thefts last year alone. People living in Paris could be forgiven for not believing their eyes when they woke up to what looked like a mountain range over the River Seine. This art installation turned into the city's oldest bridge into a cave-like structure. La Caverne du Pont Neuf is on Pont Neuf Bridge and gives visitors the chance to feel like they're walking through the mountains. It'll be on display until the end of June. This was the start the Habs were hoping for in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final.
It's his second of the playoffs. Now a great opportunity, and the Canadians tie it.
It was the Hurricanes who got on the board first, but the Habs came back with 4 goals within about 11 minutes on their way to a 6-2 win. On the road as well. Back home in Montreal, fans could not get enough. Last night was Carolina's first loss during these playoffs. Habs fans are hoping for 3 more. Game 2 goes tomorrow night. Here's a look at what's happening outside now on Portage Avenue at Polo Park. Look at that beautiful sky. Looks like things are moving well on the streets as well. Let's look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.75. It's a drop from yesterday's price, and the lowest price in the city is $1.52, found at Petro-Canada on McPhillip Street. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Imagine starting your day here, the Prairie Dog Central. Look at this locomotive. It's beautiful. That's where Ainsley is this morning. We're going to find out more about their season coming up. Stay with us.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
A beautiful and sunny start to your day. Absolutely gorgeous out here so far. We're going to be enjoying that sunshine all throughout, but as far as the temperatures go, we're already above seasonal. 10 degrees right now, just a bit of a breeze, a 19K breeze out of the south-southeast. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 72%, and that breeze might get a little bit stronger. Not the nuisance winds, but a little bit windier than what we're currently experiencing. At times up to 50 kilometers per hour, but that's somewhat moderate, in fact, compared to some of the winds that we've been dealing with this spring. Now, while it's sunny here in the southeast and northern Manitoba, we'll enjoy the same along the western border in southwestern Manitoba. That's where there's going to be some heavier clouds, some precipitation, and a band cutting through central Manitoba that'll continue to track further to the north as well. Here in Winnipeg, though, that chance of precipitation won't move in until overnight, and it could linger into Saturday morning before it clears throughout the day. And then on the other side of that, with the sunshine back on Sunday, we got some heat coming our way that'll continue throughout next week. Checking in now with Ainsley McPhail to see how she's kicking off her Friday. Hey, Ainsley, what's up?
Thank you, Terry, for some great weather. It's better than yesterday. You put the wind in my face. This is awesome. We're at Prairie Dog Central Railway. Jeffrey Bannon's joining me to tell us all about what they have on tap for this summer. Jeffrey, first things first, if people haven't been here, what can they expect?
Basically, we're one of Manitoba's oldest tourist attractions, the 1900s railway, and we have 310 people can fit on this magical train ride, and we take you from here to Grosse Isle and back with a whole bunch of different themes.
Well, tell us about those themes, because it gets pretty niche.
Yeah, so last week was our sold-out princess theme. We have K-pop coming up. We have Toy Story, Wizard of Oz, Ghostbusters on June the 6th, and then Spider-Man and Marvel. So we're really excited for a brand new series of themes this year.
And you have more things coming up the pipe, like people could get married here, for example.
Yeah, so we're trying trying to get into the concert. We're hosting concerts and a live wrestling event in August, and then we're getting back into the wedding game. So if you want to get married on the train, pictures on the train, we're more than just a train ride, and we want everyone to come down to the Prairie Dog Central Railway.
I'm sure if somebody requested a live wrestling wedding that you could accommodate.
100% times 1,000. Yes, we do that. Yes.
But also for the train enthusiasts too, or even the historical enthusiasts here in Manitoba, it truly is the perfect place to be.
Well, it is, because it brings you back to the time when rail was very important in this country, and we're trying to bring the modern technology alive to obviously the 21st century that we're in. So it really just brings a whole generation gap together.
If people are listening or watching and thinking, okay, I got to look at my calendar now, what are some things you want people to know about coming up?
So one, the theme rides are going very quickly. So the K-pop is selling out very quickly. The princess rides are going very quickly. Our most favorite ride is the train robberies. That's happening this weekend and every other month. I wouldn't wait. I get your tickets, and this is not a sales job, but they're selling out quickly, so get your tickets quickly.
Awesome. Anything else before we're quickly out of time? I'm sorry.
Choo-choo.
Okay, choo-choo. Oh, that's not even the shirt. He gave us a swag bag with some shirts, and one of them says something really silly. I'm not going to wear it, but maybe I'll bring it up in some of the future segments. See you soon.
Here's a look at the early markets. The Dow Jones climbed 111 points. The Nasdaq and the S&P index had small gains. The Canadian dollar is lower, set to 72.50 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng added 219 points, and the Nikkei is 1,654 points higher. Good morning. It is 6:46. One of two men wanted in connection with a series of extortion and arson incidents in Winnipeg has been arrested. Police say Jermaine Weeks was arrested on May the 1st in Toronto. He was turned over to Winnipeg police and charged with 2 counts of extortion. He was also detained in custody. Weeks is the 4th person arrested in conjunction with an extortion investigation dating back to July. Police say several businesses, including convenience stores, were targeted with threats of extortion and arson. 5 suspects were arrested in January. A Canada-wide warrant still remains in place for Farhan Nabil. None of the charges has been proven in court. Spring seeding in Manitoba is significantly behind last year's average. The Manitoba Crop Report shows seeding progress for 2026 is at 37% as of this past Tuesday. That's 20% lower than the same time last year. It's also below the 5-year average, which is 43% complete at this time. The report says it's due to cooler temperatures and weather conditions. Windstorms in the southwest have also impacted seeding there by forcing some farmers completely off their fields. In the northwest, farmers are dealing with saturated fields due to standing water from rain and snow. The report adds producers are hoping for a stretch of warm, favorable weather to help with seeding. 6 people are now registered as Winnipeg mayoral candidates. Mazar Alam is the newest candidate to announce his campaign. A social worker from St. Vital, Alam is campaigning on a promise to reverse water bills and tax hikes, as well as build new roads, schools, and parks. He joins incumbent Scott Gillingham, Chris Classio, Umar Hayat, Mike Voyajakis, and Don Woodstock. The deadline to register as a mayoral candidate is September 22nd. Election day is Wednesday, October 28th. An exclusive CTV investigation has found out an Air Canada employee accused in Canada's biggest gold heist has been on police radar for years. $22 million in gold and currency were stolen from Pearson Airport in 2023. There are 2 former Air Canada employees accused. One of them is Parmpal Sidhu. A W5 investigation has uncovered Sidhu's name was in 3 separate airport drug investigations dating back to 2008. W5 also obtained a 2012 intelligence document alleging Sidhu was the leader of a trafficking ring that moved drugs through Pearson. Sidhu kept his job until after the gold heist. He was arrested in 2024. The RCMP have arrested a man in Quebec on terrorism allegations. Police say the man posted on TikTok in support of the Islamic State. RCMP say there were reasonable grounds to believe he may commit terrorism offenses. The RCMP says right now there isn't enough evidence to lay charges, but that could change. The man was in court yesterday. He is due back on June the 1st. The Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission is tripling the amount of money streaming companies will need to pay toward Canadian content.
We are not in touch with the government about the status of trade negotiations. We're applying Canadian law in Canada.
The Trump administration has long railed against the Online Streaming Act, calling it a trade irritant. It remains on a list of contentious issues ahead of a review of the Canada-US-Mexico free trade deal. The CRTC's new rules mean streaming companies will be required to contribute 15% of their Canadian revenue to Canadian content. That amount had been set at 5% and is already being challenged in court by a number of U.S. tech giants, including Amazon. As for traditional private broadcasters, including CTV, the CRTC has lowered the requirement to 25% of revenue. It used to be between 30 and 45%. The CRTC says the changes will amount to $2 billion in additional funding for Canadian and Indigenous content and news. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound curb lane and eastbound median lane on Cordon Avenue are closed from Tuxedo to Shaftesbury Boulevard. Following the rush, the southbound curb lane on Main Street will be closed between Boyd and Redwood Avenue, and the westbound median lane on Provencher Boulevard will be closed from Desmarons to Langevin Street. If you have any other traffic tips, please send us a text.
It's 10 degrees outside with the sunshine and just a light breeze. That wind at the moment is out of the south-southeast, 19 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 72%. Very few clouds out there for the southeastern part of the province. Several more off to the west of us with some scattered showers running along this western border and cutting through parts of central Manitoba as well. But the further that you go up into the north, the sunnier a day it's going to be. Beautiful with the conditions, but also with where the temperatures are headed. Churchill could get up to 13 degrees. That is well above seasonal. High teens and even some low 20s throughout the rest of the region. Those heavier clouds through the more central stretch and the possibility that some showers come along with those heavier clouds. So places like Norway House, maybe the Paw, you could see the heavier clouds with those showers, but then the sunshine in that further north stretch. 18 or 20 degrees further up into the north. Now, 21 degrees would be a normal daytime high here throughout southern Manitoba. And while our numbers are getting very close to that here through the southwest, this is where the activity will be with not just heavier clouds, but that scattered precipitation as well. Mainly sunny conditions here through southeastern Manitoba. However, later this afternoon, we will start to see those clouds increasing and then that possibility of showers passing through overnight. They could even linger into tomorrow morning. Further east of us, even sunnier northwestern Ontario, things will be looking and feeling good. High teens, low 20s expected. Slightly cooler tomorrow with those showers that could linger into the morning, so it could be a little bit soggy to kick off your Saturday, but clearing into the afternoon, and from there plenty more sunshine to wrap up the weekend and plenty more heat waiting for us as we're looking ahead to next week.
Thank you, Terry. Let's check in now on Bo and Gabby at Bounce 99.9. Good morning, you two. Happy Friday.
Oh, happy Friday. Indeed, we had to close the blind. It's so nice and sunny outside. Beautiful. And we're going to make it extra happy for one of our Bounce listeners in a few minutes. We're going to give away over $1,800.
Oh,
so, yeah,
gosh.
somebody will have a nice weekend.
That would be
there's
nice.
only one number left. So we're really hoping they get the single number left, Rochelle.
Oh, my gosh. How
and we're
exciting.
also talking about, it's very exciting. Musical Instrument Day, because it is Buy a Musical Instrument Day. I think that's the weird and wacky holiday for today.
Yeah.
And you've actually played a musical instrument.
Okay, I did. I played the saxophone when I was in grade 7, 8, and 9. I was not very good at it, and I had a really hard time reading music for some reason, so it just didn't work for me, but I loved playing that saxophone. I loved owning it. I loved having it in the house, but I wasn't very good. How about you guys?
Oh.
Well, that's always a problem, but I got to tell you, the saxophone is one of my favorite instruments. Any band, when the saxophone player comes out, it's a highlight for me.
Absolutely.
So maybe it's time to take it up again, Rochelle.
Maybe.
I had a piano. My mom wanted me to play the piano. I was already 12 years old. Maybe I was too late. I wanted to rock and roll, but I didn't want to practice. So that lasted a couple of years, and that was it for me. But you're quite the piano player, Gabby.
Yeah, my parents forced me to play for many years. It wasn't very fun because when you're only doing classical musical pieces, it kind of takes the joy out of it. And then I had this really militant piano teacher who would have us come over, and she would sit and watch you practice for like an hour at a time. So I quit piano after 9 years, and I haven't really played it since Rochelle.
Oh my
And
goodness.
pianos are really expensive. Like, I can't afford a piano now, but I would love to get back into it at some point.
So we have kind of a keyboard in my daughter's bedroom because she's taking piano lessons, and she also has an electric guitar. So she's more the musician in my family, and she's very passionate about it. So hopefully she could take up the saxophone someday too. We'll see.
Hey, Zoe rocks.
Yes,
Very cool.
she's pretty good. Well, that's it, guys. Have a wonderful day and have a great weekend.
You too.
I'm standing here in this beautiful Merrick home, and it could be yours. Tonight is the summer bonus deadline in the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery. Karen Fowler is the president and CEO of St. Boniface Hospital, joining me today. I mean, obviously, to win a home like this would be top notch, but we have to talk about the why. It's all part of supporting healthcare right here at home.
Yes, absolutely. The Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery supports St. Boniface Hospital, but also Health Sciences Centre and HSC Children's Hospital. Together, we see over 1 million patients every year, and the funds raised through the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery help us all by funding medical research, helping with purchasing specialized equipment that's needed in patient care. They go a long way towards making a huge difference in healthcare.
And this particular lottery is somewhat unique in that 3 hospitals are benefiting from it. So it's really spreading those dollars around. I mean, we talk about the prizes, but you mentioned the why. I mean, it's hard not to get excited about the chance to be a millionaire or to live in a home like this. But there are so many great prizes up for grabs, aren't there?
Yes, exactly. The summer bonus deadline, like you say, is tonight at midnight. Over $95,000 in prizes to be won. There are 6 grand prize options, one of which is this beautiful home by Merrick. The winner's also going to get to choose from $1.35 million in tax-free cash. And then we have the 50-50 plus. So as of tonight, the 50-50 will be over $1 million. Winner takes half. So get your tickets for the 50-50 when you purchase your main ticket in the draw.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of visiting the website. The list of prizes is there. I mean, we talked about supporting 3 amazing hospitals and the incredible research and work that happens right here at home and keeping those dollars right here at home. So you purchasing a ticket just helps out the cause.
Here's a look at what it looks like outside starting this Friday morning. It's a beautiful start to the day. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this. It's Friday, May 22nd. Today, summer safety, how Manitoba is working to make downtown Winnipeg a safer place. Plus, up in flames, what police are saying after a baseball team's bus was torched. And back in business, how you can help Main Street Project's food bank and market. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning. It is Friday. It is 7 a.m. Happy Friday to you. We are heading into the weekend. We are finally here, and we have a lot in the next 2 hours to tell you about as well, including a choir that is putting on a special concert tonight. It's all to celebrate Black culture, Black music, and traditions. So we're going to find out a little bit more about the Roots in Harmony Choir and the special concert that's happening today. But it will be a beautiful weekend.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Today is already looking gorgeous, and then throughout the weekend, I mean, save some showers overnight, but throughout the weekend, And next week, I'm even more excited about next week because I like the heat and Mother Nature is going to be bringing it. Right now, it's 10 degrees and that is already above seasonal. So 7 degrees would be a normal low. We're a few above that. The sun is shining. It's looking good. There's a bit of a breeze. It's 19 clicks. It's out of the south-southeast. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 72%. That breeze will be increasing once again. We'll deal with a bit of a breeze, but temperatures very nice, seasonal on tap today, and the sunshine will be so pleasant to see here in the southeastern part of the province, northwestern Ontario, and all across northern Manitoba. Now, you can see it's not going to be as sunny along that western border. So starting in the southwest, moving up along that western border, that's where the precipitation will be. And in this band that cuts through central Manitoba, some scattered showers expected there as well. The futurecast will kind of show us how things play out. You can see very clear up north and over the southeast. This band will continue to climb along that western border and cutting across in that central stretch, but pushing a little bit further north throughout the day. Now, as all of this is pushing further north, this is coming from south of the line. And so overnight and into tomorrow morning, some shower activity, maybe some thunderstorms, and that will eventually continue up through the northern part of the province, letting the sky clear behind it and letting some of that sunshine through, but we might not see that until later in the day on Saturday. Temperatures on Saturday will be a little bit cooler than today, for example, when we're expecting to reach seasonal 21 degrees. Only 17 on tap for tomorrow, but after that, the sunshine back in full force. Sunday, mid-20s, and then from there, this is the heat that I'm talking about. This is July level heat. This is not May. This isn't even June. This takes us right up into a pretty hot stretch throughout the first part of next week. And our art today is a big thanks to 7-year-old Zoe. Love what you've done, love the colors and everything about it. So keep the art coming, please. Share it with all of us through our website now, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. And when you do, you'll be entered to win that $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
More safety patrols and outreach workers are hitting the streets in downtown Winnipeg. It's all part of a $2 million plan to make downtown safer this summer. CTV's Jeff Keel has the details on what these new boots on the ground will do.
This West End thrift shop on the edge of downtown helps those who need it most. The proceeds support Health Sciences Centre, but now the nonprofit is the one calling for help.
We've never seen this kind of drugs, vandalism, etc. in our neighborhood ever. We've been here for, as I said, 21 years.
In recent months, Susan Lockhart says they've experienced a break-in, an attempted arson, and people doing drugs and using their vestibule as a washroom. They've purchased security cameras and sometimes they lock the front door. Plus, they're planning on installing smash-proof glass on the windows and a gate for the vestibule to keep people from loitering.
We've probably spent $13,000 just on security costs, which could have gone to our charity just to keep us safe here.
The thrift shop is not alone.
Seeing so many new faces on the street openly using drugs without care.
Now the province is spending $2.2 million on a downtown summer safety plan, with another $100,000 from the city. The money will be spread out among 4 biz groups and the Downtown Community Safety Partnership.
Making downtown safer is about making sure everyone in Manitoba feels comfortable downtown.
The funds will pay for a beefed-up presence on the streets, more biz patrols and outreach workers, with a focus on de-escalating things before they start and getting those struggling with addictions and mental health towards the proper services.
There will be paid hired positions to connect with people that need supports and resources on the street, but also to check in with businesses to see how things are going.
Susan Lockhart welcomes the plan. She says the street patrols work, but there's not enough of them. She hopes things can get turned around before it's too late.
We provide a valuable service to the community, and so we don't want to close down, but it can be very scary here sometimes.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Some of the money could also be used for other security upgrades like lighting. Police are continuing their investigation of Thursday's early morning fire, which destroyed the charter bus of a Winnipeg Goldeyes opponent. Police say the incident happened around 2 a.m. yesterday in a parking lot at the Forks. Images captured at the scene by CTV viewers show a charter bus engulfed in flames as clouds of black smoke fill the air. The bus was chartered by the Kane County Cougars, who were in town this week for a 3-game series against the Goldeyes. Later in the day, the charred shell of the bus could be seen still standing in the spot where it burned, in a parking lot just across from the ballpark. The team's GM says the Goldeyes helped the Cougars secure a bus to get back to the States. Police say no one was hurt, and 2 teenagers were taken into custody. A 15-year-old girl is charged with arson, causing damage to property, and possession of incendiary material. Workers at the Canada Revenue Agency will soon be required to spend more time in office.
Right now, people are just furious because they're being forced to go to the office and in bad working conditions sometimes. It's not proper for their work. A lot of people have a hard time to concentrate because as it is right now, even at 3 days a week, in a lot of places, they're like squeezing people closer together.
The CRA has now told its employees they will be required to be in the office 4 days a week by July. It says the move follows the direction of the Treasury Board. The president of the Union of Taxation Employees says the shift will only apply to workers in offices where there is enough space to accommodate them. Main Street Project is reopening its food bank and essentials market, but it needs some help. The food bank has been closed since mid-January due to smoke and water damage caused by the Manwin Hotel fire. It will reopen next Wednesday, but because most of the food items were destroyed, it needs help restocking the shelves. That's where you come in. Donations can be dropped off at 661 Main Street, Monday to Friday, between 10 and 4. The most needed items are canned food, pasta, cereal, rice, peanut butter, baby formula, and hygiene products. The market supports 150 to 180 people and families each week. The Food and Nutrition Services team also provides more than 1,600 meals every day. Manitoba students are standing up to highlight human rights concerns.
There's like 4 sections. There's like resilience, cultural celebration, reconciliation, and Indigenous history.
The 6th annual Manitoba Upstander Showcase brought together 200 students and educators at the Canadian Museum for Human Rights. Grade 4 to 12 students presented their projects ranging from musical performances to visual arts and research projects.
Tell me about this project.
I think students just brighten up when they get to choose how they're learning, and it also means that we get, I think, the best side of them when they are telling their story the way they're also most comfortable with it.
The showcase is the culmination of the CMHR's Be an Upstander program, which asks students to consider how choices and community shape their paths and create opportunities for change. Since its launch in 2018, the program has expanded to classrooms across Canada. Here's what's happening outside now on the Prairie Bridge. It looks like it's a beautiful start to the day. No issues in traffic to tell you about at this point in the drive.
The S&P 500 is heading for its longest streak of weekly wins since 2027 as hopes are growing that the U.S. and Iran are moving closer to a peace deal. And there's unrelenting enthusiasm for artificial intelligence that will keep on fueling global stocks. Sherrod International has received a failure to file cease trade order from the Ontario Securities Commission effective May 21st after the company failed to file its first quarter 2026 interim financial statements, management's discussion and analysis, and related officer certifications by the May 15th deadline. The corporation was unable to complete its Q1 filing as a result of operational and governance disruptions following the U.S. administration's May 1st, 2026 executive order expanding sanctions against Cuba. A little detective work has ended the mystery surrounding a 361-year-old portrait of the first governor of the Hudson's Bay Company and sent its values soaring. Heffelfine Art Auction House questioned the initial history that it was painted by students of Flemish artist Anthony van Dyck. It called in some experts from around the world, and they determined it was actually painted by the portrait painter of King Charles II, Peter Lely. So instead of going for a few $1,000s, it went for $220,000. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go now to Ainsley, who is hanging out in a locomotive this morning as the Prairie Dog Central. Hi, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning. 1901, Canada's oldest train. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? And it's funny because I get to do this every day. My first time here at Prairie Dog Central. They not only are here for history, but they're here to provide more than just a train ride. I'm talking princesses, a Spider-Man party. They even have a K-pop Demon Hunters party coming up as well. Something new too is that you can get married on the train. So that is certainly a fun advancement. We're going to be learning about the preservation of these trains as well, because they also have the oldest steam engine dating back to the 1800s. So oldest in Canada, 5th oldest in North America, so if you like facts about trains.
I love history too, so thank you, Ainsley. Let's go outside now to the rooftop. The sun is shining bright. It's Friday, the weekend's here. Feels good to be outside.
It does feel good to be outside. You're right about that. Standing up here on the rooftop with that sun just shining down on me. Yeah, what a great way to be kicking off the weekend. It's 12 degrees, so the mercury on the rise. So are the winds increasing, though. Now 24 kilometers per hour out of the south-southeast. The pressure falling. Humidity sitting at 64%. Looks good out here. Feels good as well, and it'll feel even better as it continues to warm up to seasonal values today. Now, while we're enjoying the sunshine here through the southeast, northwestern Ontario as well, and northern Manitoba, a beautiful sunny start for you with your temperatures that have jumped a little bit this past hour. But then there's a band through central Manitoba where the heavier clouds and the scattered showers will be, and anybody along that western border can expect some of the same as well. Now, we welcome the precipitation we needed. It's been dry, and we'll likely see some of that moving in overnight. So Mother Nature does have her timing down as far as when those showers pass through, because yes, tonight and into tomorrow morning, a bit of precipitation here in Winnipeg and much of the southeast. That'll clear throughout the day tomorrow, back to the sunshine. Tomorrow will be a little bit cooler, slightly below seasonal for Saturday, but by Sunday we're back up in the mid-20s and low 30s waiting for us throughout pretty much all of next week.
Weather is brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Research at bbb.org before you buy.
Thank you, Terry. It's time now for a question of the day. Have you ever received any surprise mail? If so, tell us about it. You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response, and don't forget to include your name, please.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want to see more. Whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals, please send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We can pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you can do with an extra 20 grand. Today's code word is prosper. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter prosper with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Good luck. Welcome back. Winnipeg police have arrested a resource center worker and charged him with the sexual assault of a teenage client. Police allege the 38-year-old suspect was working at a Winnipeg resource center when he befriended a teen client. He forged a relationship with them and then lured them to his home, where police say he sexually assaulted them. He's now facing sexual assault, exploitation, and luring charges. None of the allegations has been tested in court. There is a new timeline for the province's first supervised consumption site. Addictions Minister Bernadette Smith has confirmed the facility will open next month, but when it does, it will be a mobile site.
Some staff have been hired, so the director has been hired. They're interviewing some peer mentors right now and clinical staff, and then once they're hired and trained up, that's when the site will open.
Smith confirms Aboriginal Health and Wellness will run the mobile facility. People will be allowed to inject drugs in the trailer with staff on hand to respond to overdoses, but they won't supply the drugs. Staff will also help guide people to treatment and other services. Mayor Scott Gillingham says it's imperative that all systems are in place prior to the opening.
One of the things that I've expressed, and I appreciate Minister Smith has heard me on this, as is the Premier, to make sure that safety in the surrounding area is prioritized. I know that there's been a lot of dialogue between the province and Chief Bowers and the Winnipeg Police Service as well. There needs to be coordination. You see coordination here. Regarding the supervised consumption site, there needs to be good coordination.
The province maintains they're opening an urgent public health needs site, and they say they can do that on their own provincially. To open the supervised consumption site, they need the federal government to approve their application. Minister Smith says they are going through the exemption process. After more than 30 years, The Late Show has signed off for the last time.
Paul, why are you interrupting me?
I'm just curious when our interview starts. I have an extremely long poem I want to recite, and I don't want to run out of time.
You wrote a poem about me?
I wrote a poem.
Stars like Paul Rudd and Bryan Cranston dropped by during Stephen Colbert's last monologue. The big secret heading into the show was who will be the last guest. There was talk it could be Pope Leo, but it was Sir Paul McCartney who took the couch. McCartney performed in the Ed Sullivan Theatre with the Beatles in 1964. He helped close the show with the song Hello, Goodbye, and then it was lights out. The Late Show has been on CBS for 33 years, starting with host David Letterman. As of tonight, its time slot will be filled by Comics Unleashed with Byron Allen. I think we have discovered the greatest job in the world. Could anything beat being a baby pygmy hippo bather? Berlin Zoo just shared this video of their newborn hippo getting a bath out in the warm spring sun. She now weighs 22 pounds, nearly double her birth weight. She was only born on May the 9th. She doesn't have a name quite yet, but they do say she's developing well and gaining weight steadily. So sweet. Here's a look at what's happening right now in traffic along Kenniston and Sterling Lion Way. It looks like things are moving well to start off this Friday morning. If you see any problems out on the streets, please send us a text. And here's your Friday primetime lineup. At 7, catch Celebrity Jeopardy. W5 Avery Haynes Investigates comes next at 8. And Boston Blue starts at 9. It's all right here tonight on CTV. It's time for this week's Adorable Adoptables. We begin with Lenny. This 1-year-old boy is very good at sits and taking treats gently. Lenny loves adventuring outside and doesn't get bothered by much. Next up is Blue. This 9-month-old boy doesn't love shelter life. It's a little too loud and a little too busy for him. Blue is looking for someone to share a life with. And meet Slinky. This adult cat is the perfect companion, blending a sweet and cuddly nature with a goofy and playful spirit. Slinky loves to engage in energetic playtime, bringing laughter and fun to everyone around. If you think you can offer any of these animals a good home, just head down to the Winnipeg Humane Society or give them a call. The number's there on your screen. It's a good day to be outside today. It's shining bright.
It's beautiful out there, Rochelle. It's not just shining bright as far as the sunshine goes. The temperatures, they're already above seasonal, and just a light breeze as well. Yeah, I'm loving everything that Mother Nature is dishing up this morning. Here's a look now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Beautiful, barely a cloud to find out there this morning. And yes, as far as the temperatures go, they're already on the rise. We were at 10 last hour, and now we've bumped to 12 degrees. Even Brandon is coming through with a number now. They seem to have fixed their reporting station, so 7 degrees at the moment. We've got 9 in the Dauphin, Morden, Winkler areas. 8 showing up in Fisher Branch and over in Swan River. 7 would be a seasonal low temperature along with Brandon. We've got Gimli sitting there as well. But look at the numbers through northern Manitoba. A fistful of degrees above the freezing mark for Thompson, Churchill, and 8 degrees already in Island and Lynn Lake. Now, as far as precipitation goes, sure, there will likely be some rolling up along this western border and cutting through the central part of the province. That will continue to push a little bit further north throughout the day, but sunshine here in the southeast to enjoy and further into the north, although we will start to see some clouds building up later on into the afternoon. Temperatures, though, they're headed to seasonal values. Finally, it will be beautiful. 15 degrees by the time kids are getting into the classroom, 18 through the lunch hour, 20 by the time they're coming home, with 21, a very seasonal high on tap for us this afternoon. Overnight, those showers could take us into Saturday with slightly cooler temperatures. From there, though, the sunshine is back and the heat will be showing up for next week. And our weather picture puts such a smile on my face. I feel like this is the energy we all need headed into the weekend. That's crazy hazel out at Grand Beach. Thanks, Michelle, for sharing the photo. And keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
May 22nd, 1979. The Progressive Conservatives under Joe Clark won the federal election, ending the 11-year tenure of Liberal Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. But Clark's minority government lost a Commons budget vote the following December and lost the ensuing election to Trudeau's Liberals. May 22nd, 1992. In one of the most publicized departures in TV history, Johnny Carson appeared for the last time as host of The Tonight Show. He had taken over the show from Jack Paar in October 1962. The final show featured no celebrity guests, concentrating instead on memorable clips from his 30 years of hosting. The previous night's episode was the star-studded celebrity send-off. May 22nd, 2007. Gary Dewar became the first Manitoba Premier in 40 years to win 3 straight majority terms as his NDP swept to victory in the provincial election. Dewar stepped down from the premiership on October 19, 2009, when Prime Minister Stephen Harper appointed him Canada's ambassador to the United States.
Tonight is the summer bonus deadline in the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery. $1.7 million up for grabs. A beautiful Merrick home like the one that we're standing in. But we have to talk about where that money goes. And it's helping folks right here at home in Manitoba. Hemant Shah is joining me today, who has needed the services of St. Boniface Hospital in the past. So let's talk a little bit about your story.
Well, I can say St. Boniface Hospital is my rebirth place. 4 years ago, the Father's Day, which is coming, I had a massive heart attack, and it was in a code blue. And today I'm talking to you, all because of St. Boniface Hospital, and the great work is done by Cardiac Care, St. Boniface Research, and all your gift and donation. So I request today, there is a lottery coming up. Why don't you buy that lottery? You have supported me, you have saved my life. We can save more people's life. What St. Boniface Cardiac Care is doing. And one more thing I would like to tell Manitoba community and Winnipeg community, we are the only cardiac care in Manitoba. This is St. Boniface Hospital. We got a great team there. Then we have a St. Boniface Research. We have a great team. Your support will go a long way. And I would like to request you, we have a 3 coffee a day. Cut 1 coffee and just give me a $25 a month. I'm fine. You will save more life like Hemant Shah. Thank you.
And your story really is remarkable, but it's not at all unique. So many people have needed the care, and thankfully, to your support, the care has been there. 3 hospitals benefiting from the dollars that are raised in this lottery. So visit the website, check out some of the amazing prizes, and know that when you're signing up, purchasing that ticket to win a home like this or that $1.7 million, you're also saving lives like Hemant.
Thank you.
Coming up, we're live with Prairie Dog Central this morning. You're looking inside the locomotive right now. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, sitting on a passenger train. I called it a locomotive. I apologize for my error, in Ainsley. It looks like you're quite comfortable in there.
You know what's so funny too? I was gonna throw back to be like, I'm not, you'd be surprised to know that I'm not a train historian, because I almost called it, is it, so, okay, what is this called? Because this is the passenger car. Okay, and this would have been the fancy one.
Yeah, this
for the time.
The first class passenger car back in 1901 when this one was built. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Again, not a train enthusiast, but we're at Prairie Dog Central. This is Luca. I'm Ainsley. Let's talk about the characteristics of this space and its age too, because there's some fun facts about it.
Yeah, so this is the oldest car on the train. This is car 105, built in 1901 for the Canadian Northern Railway. Later, it went on to the Canadian National Railway, and then the Greater Winnipeg Water District, and then it was donated to the Prairie Dog in 1971, I believe. This car is special because it's got a private room at the end, which would have been a first-class smoker lounge, and now we rent them out as like party rooms, and yeah, so it's pretty fun. And it's got the nicest windows of the car, like good viewing from all angles, and nice seats, and it's a good space. This one seats about 60 people, so it's a pretty cool car.
Well, humor me too, because for the time of over 100 years ago, where do you think these fancy Canadians would have been going?
Well, this would have brought like new Canadians from each coast into Canada, and settlers and all that sort of stuff, and then it would have been used on branch lines like we run on the old CN Oak Point subdivision here, and these would have been the kind of cars that ran back and forth up to the end of the line and back, carrying passengers and farmers and settlers and all that, and goods too, like mail and all that sort of stuff, like old-time Amazon, basically, up to each town. Yeah,
I love that. And now you guys have Spider-Man parties.
Yeah, we have Spider-Man parties in here too. Yeah.
Now, today, you know what? If those people knew that there were Spider-Man parties here now, they'd say, "That's pretty awesome." I'm glad that I got the history lesson from you too, because I was clearly overwhelmed when Rochelle was getting into the nuts and bolts.
I love hearing about the history too. Thank you, Ainsley. And the weekend is here. There's a little bit of green behind you, though, so some people will get more precipitation today.
Yeah, and you know, we're also in the queue for more precipitation, likely to arrive overnight. So Mother Nature really got that timing down for us here in the southeast, whereas some parts of the province will be seeing that throughout the day. Right now in Winnipeg, the sun is shining. It's 12 degrees with a bit of a breeze. That wind increasing now out of the south-southeast. It's 24 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 64%. Listen, it's been dry and we could use some more rain. We're just not going to see it until tonight here in the southeast, whereas you can see already along this western border, and it will continue to track a little bit further to the west, cutting through with this band, that all of this will continue to push a little bit further north. So through central and western Manitoba, that's where the shower activity will be today. We'll enjoy that sunshine today, as will northern Manitoba, but then things will start to change for us into the evening overnight. Daytime, though, 21 degrees. That is bang on seasonal. I mentioned that wind increasing at times up to 50 kilometers per hour out of the southeast. Now, the clouds will also continue to stack up, so by evening time, pretty cloudy, and by overnight, yes, the showers passing through. 8 degrees is where we'll drop off to, which is pretty much normal for this time of year, 7 being that seasonal low. Still a little bit breezy overnight, though. Those winds gusting to 40 kilometers per hour should taper off for tomorrow, but tomorrow will be a little bit cooler. We also might still see some lingering shower activity in the morning, but then clearing through the afternoon. Only 17 degrees, though, but on the other side of that, really starts to heat up by Sunday. Sunshine, mid-20 temperatures, and then those low 30s will continue to take us throughout next week.
Thank you, Terry. A new community notification system in the province is launching at select RCMP detachments. It's called Rave Mobile Safety and is being introduced in Thompson, Norway House, Dauphin, and several other communities. It's a voluntary mass notification program which enables police to send targeted alerts directly by text, email, or automated phone call. Some of the alerts include public safety advisories, missing person information, traffic and road conditions, as well as requests for public assistance. Police say it's not intended to replace the existing provincial Alert Ready system or emergency services. The pilot project is expected to run for 3 months. A Winnipeg Animal Rescue is one step closer to its goal of moving into a new facility, and it's all thanks to the kindness of strangers.
When she mentioned the amount, and I go, can you say that again? How many zeros are with that?
Darcy Johnston, owner of Darcy's Ark, says the shelter has outgrown its current space on Century Street. The Ark started a fundraising campaign a few weeks ago to raise money to move into a larger building better suited to its needs. And Johnston says an appearance right here on CTV Your Morning Winnipeg ahead of the fundraising launch led to a big donation.
We had a client who was looking after some cats, and she's tried everywhere to get them into shelters, and all the shelters are full. She saw us on the news, she saw the puppy, and she came down on the Saturday of the barbecue, and she made a very generous donation to kickstart our campaign, which was completely, you know, it was amazing.
Johnston says the shelter is 10% closer to its $1 million goal thanks to the donor. In exchange, Darcy's Ark happily took in 6 cats from the woman who said they belonged to her late brother and is working to rehome them. Anyone looking to adopt or donate can visit darcysark.ca. 4 years after planning first began for the South Winnipeg Recreation Campus, the facility is one step closer to construction.
It's about investing in children. It's about investment in teenagers, in seniors, in families.
The city, province, and Ottawa broke ground Thursday on the much-anticipated community hub. It will be built in phases. The first stage will build a recreation center, which will include space for sports, childcare, and special events.
When you have a new community and you've got new Canadians, people from all over the world, to have a place to gather and meet and learn and play together is so important.
Phase 1 will also include, in addition to Pembina Trails Collegiate for vocational programs, preliminary design work will begin this year on Phase 2, which is focused on an aquatic facility, including lap and leisure pools, water slides, a lazy river, multi-purpose rooms, and more. Construction for that is unfunded at this time. The recreation portion of the campus is expected to open in early 2028. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound curb lane and the eastbound median lane on Corden Avenue are closed from Tuxedo to Shaftesbury Boulevard. Following the rush, the Southbound curb lane on Main Street will be closed between Boyd and Redwood Avenue, and the westbound median lane on Provencher Boulevard will be closed from Desmarons to Langevin Street. If you have any other traffic tips, please send us a text. Here's a look at your gas prices now. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.75. It's a drop from yesterday's price, and the lowest price in the city is $1.52, found at Petro-Canada on McPhillip Street. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 10th birthday, Beanie. Lots of love from Mom, Nan, and Papa. Happy 27th birthday, Keenan, from your wife and daughter. Happy 10th birthday, James. Love from Mom, Wilson, Shannon, Angel, Sierra, and your cuckoos and papas. Happy 70th birthday to Jeanette. Love from Bill, your sibs, our kids, and 3 wonderful granddaughters. Happy 29th birthday, Meryl, from Mom, Dad, Sister, and Kelsey. Happy birthday, Melissa. Love your family. Happy birthday, Crystal. Love from your mom. Happy 5th birthday, Calix. Love Mommy, Daddy, Kenneth, Sahara, Solera, Caro, and the rest of the family. Happy birthday, Madeline. Family and friends say you make everything more fun. Happy 90th birthday and best wishes to Bev. Your family calls you the best mom, grandma, and Gigi a family could ask for. And always the life of the party. Ethel is turning 95. Love from all your family and friends. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into a monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff, Winnipeg's balloon headquarters with 3 locations.
12 degrees to kick off your Friday morning with the sun shining over us. Yes, it's looking good. A bit of a breeze out of the south-southeast is 24 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 64%. So while it's beautiful and sunny here in the southeast and parts of northwestern Ontario and parts of northern Manitoba, you can see the extra clouds with the precipitation over along that western border that'll continue to track further up into the north and cutting through central Manitoba as well. Further that you go into the north, though, yes, sun will be shining and bringing the heat. 13 degrees in Churchill, well above seasonal. High teens, low 20s throughout the rest of the region. I mentioned that band of heavier clouds through the central part of the province, so Island Lake could be seeing some of that. Some might see more than clouds, a little bit of precipitation. Norway House in the Pas area, that's where there could be a little bit of shower activity. But other than that, further north, high teens, low 20s, and sunshine. Now, all along this western border really is where the clouds are the heaviest this morning with that scattered precipitation. But still, temperatures very close to seasonal, 21 degrees being a normal daytime high, and in high teens and low 20s is where you're headed today. We might make it to that seasonal 21 with some sunshine. We're certainly seeing it out there now, but some clouds will build up throughout the day, and by evening or overnight, that's when some showers could pass through for us. I'm going to call that some A-plus timing, though, as far as Mother Nature goes, because by the time tomorrow rolls around, we might see some shower activity lingering into the morning, but then clearing throughout the day, and from there, plenty more sunshine expected throughout Sunday. Plenty more heat as well. Mid-20s puts us above seasonal, but the real heat, that's waiting for us throughout next week with plenty of sunshine and some low 30 temperatures on tap. And that's going to be for a stretch of days as far as we can see.
Thank you, Terry. Let's go back now to Ainsley, who's live with Prairie Dog Central this morning. It's a beautiful place to hang out with your family if you're looking for something different to do this summer. Good morning.
It is so neat. I'm so mad at myself for not brushing up on my train literacy enough until we were about to do this segment, and we were talking about the role of a conductor. Mark Perry is joining me now, and Kenny's like, yeah, that's just the guy who tells people, come on in. I'm like, I think that the role is a little bit more diverse than that. Mark, tell us.
Well, I'm the one who runs the train. I'm the one who operates it all. I'm the one that tells everybody what to do here.
Okay, that's a pretty big job. How does it all work?
Well, I wear a fancy uniform and I give people instructions.
And it is a fun place. We mentioned how family friendly it is for sure. Lots of events. Why should people come?
Oh, the Prairie Dog is a unique experience. There isn't very many places in Canada that this happens. Absolutely. Come on down.
And when it comes to preserving that history, you and the people here are really passionate about that. For you, obviously you have an extensive background. Maybe fill in our audience as to why that means so much to you.
Well, I've been on the railway for 46 years. My family were railroaders, and I really love trains. So, yes, I can't get enough of this.
For trains, I feel like there's not a lot of people who are neutral on trains. You really like them if you like them. So what is it about trains and train culture that really speaks to you?
I like the people. The people you work with and the people that ride on the train are a unique experience here. That's why I do this.
And in Manitoba, especially, I mean, we mentioned the event, everything from princess parties to K-pop demon hunters. Do you have a favorite?
The princess one we had last weekend was absolutely phenomenal. And it's the most exciting experience I've had here in the past 20 years.
Wow, that is really saying something. Now, before we're out of time, if there's something that people should know or should catch, right? You're the guy to ask.
Well, this is the most unique experience in Western Canada, I think, for trains. So people don't get the experience of real trains. They can't get near them. But here, when you come to the Prairie Dog, it's all hands-on. Come on down.
Thank you so much. Conductors, they're just like the rest of us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ainsley. Gas prices are expected to drop for most of the country today. Experts are saying it's due to a reduction in stored gas that determines the price of fuel and other energy sources throughout North America. CTV's Kamil Karamali joins us now. Good morning, Kamil.
Hey, good morning, Rochelle. Good to see you.
You too. Thanks for being with us. Now, the price of gas is dropping for most of Canada today. Experts are saying it won't last long, though. Where do we stack up heading into this weekend?
Yeah, if you were holding off on filling up the tank, today would be the day to do so, because we are going to see very limited reprieve in gas prices today across the country, especially here in the Greater Toronto area and across Ontario. But Manitoba also seeing some prices drop today. It will be around 176 cents per liter, and that is a reduction of about 5 cents compared to last week. What you're seeing on your screen here is the national averages of how much it has increased over time, though. So just giving you a snapshot of what we were seeing just last month. It's risen 24 cents compared to a month ago, and nearly 50 cents compared to this time last year. So giving you a snapshot of just how much it's increased. But we're talking about a brief reduction here, seeing some of the biggest relief. Once again, Manitoba expected to see 176 cents per liter across the board. That's about 5 cents lower than what we've seen in the past week. So why is this drop happening now is the big question. Well, U.S. President Donald Trump suggested negotiators are moving close to a breakthrough to end the conflict with Iran. So global oil markets reacted to those headlines by selling off oil at cheaper prices per barrel, about $6 to $7 per barrel. So that is much cheaper than what we've seen in the past month or so. As you mentioned off the top, Rochelle, though, relief won't last long, because Canadians for Affordable Energy President, that's a lobby group, they're saying that there is a reduction in stored gas. What that means is that supply is running out. So this is a little bit of an anomaly that we're seeing today. Supply is running short. Add that to the summer demand as well, with the weather warming up, Rochelle, and a lot of people wanting to hit the road. These low prices will not last long. So fill up now.
Okay, so today's the day to do that. Thank you, Kamil, for this. We appreciate your time today.
Anytime.
Have a good weekend.
You bet.
Here's a look outside now on McPhillip Street. Things are moving well here to start off this Friday morning. If you see any problems out on the streets, let us know. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
21 degrees is where we're headed today, which is bang on normal for this time of year. So goodness, we'll take it. Last year, that's where we got to as well. So we're right in par with those seasonal temperatures back in 1980, 37 degrees, my goodness. Well, those are the kind of temperatures that could be waiting for us next week. We do have some models showing mid-30s. I went with the slightly more conservative model showing low 30s for next week, but that's next week. So let's rewind and get back to today because it too is going to be gorgeous. 12 degrees is where we're sitting right now. 24K winds out of the south-southeast. The pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 64%. Some places will begin to see a little bit of precipitation today. Southwestern Manitoba along that western border and even a band through central Manitoba with some heavier clouds could have some scattered precipitation in liquid form, some showers today, which we could see moving through in the overnight hours. Throughout the day, we'll enjoy some sunshine, as will northern Manitoba, but here in the southeast, we'll see those clouds stacking up into the afternoon, and yes, the showers passing through overnight, maybe even lingering into Saturday morning, but clearing through the day. And while Saturday's temperatures will be a little bit cooler than seasonal, by Sunday, with all of that sunshine, we're back up into the mid-20s. And then I mentioned that heat. Yes, I went with the low 30s for next week. Some models are showing mid to high 30s for next week, but everyone is in agreement with those temperatures climbing above the 30-degree range, putting us well above seasonal with plenty of sunshine to come.
Thank you, Terry. A Winnipeg choir is celebrating Winnipeg's Black community and music. The choir is called Roots in Harmony, and it's putting on a special concert tonight. Joining us now is the choir's director, Mwansa. Good morning, Mwansa.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us how this choir began, because it's about 2 years old.
Correct.
What led to it, first of all, and what is it you do exactly?
Absolutely. So we started as we kind of noticed that there was a need for a space where underrepresented voices could be seen, heard, and celebrated in the choral sphere of Winnipeg. Okay. So it started just in my living room with 6 singers.
Really?
And we would rehearse weekly, and then as we grew, our second year, we've expanded to about 18 singers now, and we rehearse in a church, and we've also just been, just expanding kind of our reach and getting out more in the community.
And you're not just representing the Black community, you have many different members from different other groups as well, cultural groups.
Absolutely. So we also have some Indigenous members, just anyone who is racially underrepresented is in our group.
So are you surprised by how big it's grown?
No, okay. I'm not actually, because there has been a need. So our members come and say, you know, we've been looking for a space where we can belong. We've been looking for a space where our music can be celebrated and heard. And so the response has been really positive, and I'm actually just really excited about it.
And proud, I'm sure,
yes,
that it's here at this point.
Correct.
Well, let's talk about the benefits of singing out loud like this and what it brings to your daily life, knowing that you have a group where you can just belt it out.
Absolutely. I mean, singing and the nature of what we do is so vulnerable. It's so intimate that I think every time you sing and perform, you're sharing a little part of yourself. Yeah. And I think through that, over time, you really build a sense of confidence within yourself and within the singers that you share space with. And so I really love to see our members just growing in themselves and feeling confident in what they do through music.
That sounds amazing. Now tell us a little bit about some of the music you're performing, some of the roots of that music.
Absolutely. So through spirituals, gospel, music from the African diaspora, we're really aiming to honor and preserve like the richness of our music and the culture behind it. And so our performances are more than just singing. It's an experience, and it's letting you kind of into our home and our heart and our space.
And this concert that you're putting on tonight, tell us a little bit about why it's really important and some of the supports that or the fundraising that's involved as well.
Fantastic. So this is actually like our first concert that we're putting on this year.
Okay.
So that's a big deal. It is a fundraising concert. We were invited to participate in Music Fest Nationals in 2027. So we're raising funds for that. But tonight's concert is really just sharing what we've been working on in the whole year. We're talking about themes of joy and resilience, and just taking the audience on a little journey with us.
And does it feel like you're back home when you're able to sing this music?
It does. It really does. I think when we're all connected in that space and we're all there for that one kind of goal and purpose, sometimes you do get lost and kind of feel like, oh yeah, this feels like home.
And describe the kind of experience the audience gets when they watch you.
Well, I love that you asked that, because this is not going to be your typical choir performance.
Okay.
So we have live instrumentation, we've got a band, we're encouraging people to get up and dance. It's just very high energy, but we take you on a little bit of a roller coaster. So it's a little bit of high, a little bit of low, but overall just a great experience.
No matter what, though, the audience leaves with big smiles on their faces and they're inspired, which is exactly what you want to happen, right?
Exactly.
Okay, if someone's watching and they want to check out the show tonight, what do they need to know?
You need to know that it's at 7 o'clock at First Mennonite Church. You can still get tickets at our website, which is rootsandharmony.ca. And you can also get tickets at the door. If you want to show up, we'll be there.
All right, and of course, if you're looking for more information, we also have a link on our website. Thank you.
Awesome.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Rachel.
Hello there, Matt Scooby inside the TSN Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. For it, we go to North Carolina. Habs taking on the Canes Game 1 Eastern Conference Final. Cole Caulfield finds Juraj Slafkovsky. He absolutely undresses Andrei Svechnikov and then dekes out Freddie Anderson for a spectacular goal. Slafkovsky with an absolute beauty. What a toe drag. Snaps out of his 4-game goalless streak in a big way with 2 goals in this one. It's your must-see moment from Thursday. And tonight on TSN, NBA playoffs, Game 3 between the Thunder and the Spurs, tip-off 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN Must-See Moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Friday, May 22nd, toward a safer summer. How much new money will the province and city put up to enhance downtown security and how it will be spent? Bus blaze. A baseball team's Winnipeg visit takes a fiery turn as their bus burns and a teen is charged with several offenses linked to the Thursday morning fire. And a Winnipeg Helping Agency reopens a critical community food resource months after a major fire next door. What you can do to help them restock the pantry. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Happy Friday, Manitoba. It's 8 o'clock, and thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, at 8:15, we're going to tell you about the RCMP. They announced yesterday a brand new notification system that will go to only a select amount of communities in Manitoba. We're going to tell you about which communities they have chosen for this pilot program, as well as how it works and what it'll mean, and what happens after the 3 months when it's up. What are they going to do with the information they've collected in that time, and is there a plan to expand across the province? We're going to have that a little later. But the weather, it's certainly going to be nice and warm this weekend compared to what we've been having.
Yeah, and then hot next week. I feel like this is what a lot of us have been waiting for, some heat. Anyway, it's going to come in a very big way. Today will just be a seasonal day, but that too will be quite pleasant. It's going to kick off with some sunshine and just a light to moderate wind. 12 degrees is where we're sitting, and that's well above seasonal. 7 degrees a normal low. We've been above that all morning long. That breeze, 24 clicks out of the south-southeast, will be increasing throughout the day. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 64%. We'll also see not just the winds increasing, the clouds building up as well, but we are enjoying some sunshine out there for now. Nowhere near as sunny as we're looking off to the west. You can see all of the activity showing up with the showers running along this western border, and that'll continue to track further along that western border. But also this band of clouds that cuts through the central part of the province will also bring some precipitation that will continue to squeeze into parts of northern Manitoba or north central Manitoba. Further up into the north, it will actually stay quite clear. Here's the future cast, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So the most northern stretch, a beautiful day ahead. Along this western border, things could get a little bit soggy, and through that central band as well, some building clouds and some scattered precipitation. Now we'll see those clouds building up through the afternoon, and then overnight, that's when the rain will pass through. So this takes us through the overnight hours and right into Saturday morning. By later in the day Saturday, we're seeing the rain taper off and the sky beginning to clear out. Now Saturday will be a little bit cooler and even slightly below seasonal, but as it clears, that sunshine sticks around then through Sunday, really starts to bring some heat. So mid-20 temperatures expected for for Sunday, and then we're pushing up into the 30s. I was saying I chose the more conservative low 30s, but there are some models showing mid to high 30s throughout next week. All models, though, in agreement that we'll be enjoying plenty of sunshine along with that excessive heat. Our art today is a big thanks to 7-year-old Zoe. Love the colors and everything that you've done here with your picture. So please keep sharing your art with us through our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. And when you do, you're entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
More safety patrols and outreach workers are hitting the streets in downtown Winnipeg. It's all part of a $2 million plan to make downtown safer this summer.
We've never seen this kind of drugs, vandalism, etc. in our neighborhood ever. We've been here for, as I said, 21 years.
News the province will spend millions more to address downtown safety is welcomed by the operators of this West End thrift shop on the edge of downtown. In the last couple of months, Susan Lockhart says they've experienced a break-in, an attempted arson, people doing drugs and using their vestibule as a washroom. They've purchased security cameras and sometimes they lock the front door. Plus, they're planning on installing smash-proof glass on the windows and a gate for that vestibule to keep people from loitering. Now, the province is spending $2.2 million on a downtown summer safety plan with another $100,000 from the city. The money will be spread out among 4 biz groups and the Downtown Community Safety Partnership.
There will be paid hired positions to connect with people that need supports and resources on the street, but also to check in with businesses to see how things are going.
The funds will pay for a beefed-up presence on the streets, more biz patrols and outreach workers with a focus on de-escalating things before they start and getting those struggling with addictions and mental health towards the proper services. Some of the money could also be used for other security upgrades like lighting. Police are continuing their investigation of Thursday's early morning fire, which destroyed the charter bus of a Winnipeg Goldeyes opponent. Police say the incident happened around 2 a.m. yesterday in a parking lot at the Forks. Images captured at the scene by a CTV viewer show a charter bus engulfed in flames as clouds of black smoke fill the air. The bus was chartered by the Kane County Cougars, who were in town this week for a 3-game series against the Goldeyes. Later in the day, the charred shell of the bus could be seen still standing in the spot where it burned in a parking lot just across from the ballpark. The team's GM says the Goldeyes helped the Cougars secure a bus to get back to the States. Police say no one was hurt and 2 teenagers were taken into custody. A 15-year-old girl is charged with arson, causing damage to property, and possession of incendiary material. Hundreds of people in Greenland showed up to protest a new U.S. consulate. U.S. officials inaugurated the new building, which is the first build in Greenland on behalf of the U.S. since the 1950s. The U.S. ambassador to Denmark says the facility is aimed at bringing the U.S. and Greenland closer and to ease tensions after demands from U.S. President Donald Trump to control the island because of national security concerns. Here's a look at what's happening now on Donald Street. Looks like things are moving well over here. We have no issues to tell you about at this point in this Friday morning drive.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Tonight is the summer bonus deadline in the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery. Within a week's time, somebody will be announced as the winner of $95,000. Doesn't sound so bad. And by tonight, that 50-50 is expected to be over $1 million. So you will want to get your ticket. Check out trihospitaldream.com. See a list of prizes. But we do want to find out a little bit about where that money goes. Dr. Ina Rabinovich-Nikitin is joining me today. And you have done some incredible research. Give us a little bit of an update of what's happening right now.
Thank you. So we're fortunate to do some really exciting research in St. Boniface focused on women's heart health, because heart disease is still the leading cause of death for women worldwide and also in Manitoba. And this is because we have a knowledge gap and research gap when it comes to women's heart health. And some of the research that we are doing is focusing on risk factors that are specific to women, because women can have other risk factors that men usually don't. For example, pregnancy complications, whether women have gestational diabetes during their pregnancy or preeclampsia, hypertension. This can all increase the risk for future heart disease, both for the mother but also for the children. And the research that we are doing is focusing on these risk factors, trying to understand what exactly can increase the risk for heart disease later in life and how we can mitigate that.
And this is research that has just been missed or passed over for so long, as the focus has generally been on men. So to see that this is now coming to the forefront, the focus being on women and discovering these differences, making sure that then the care is curated to the women in our lives. And so many of us have needed the care over the years or in the future, and we want to make sure that that care is there. So of course it's research like this that provides that care, but it's dollars like yours that allow this kind of research to happen. TryHospitalDream.com is where you go to check out the amazing prizes. A beautiful Merrick home like the one we're living in. I mentioned the 50-50 getting up to $1 million, or within a week's time, somebody going home with $95,000, but not unless you get your ticket by midnight tonight.
All right, let's go back now to Ainsley, who's live at Prairie Dog Central this morning, and it's going to be a great adventure this summer if you want to check it out for yourself. Good morning.
Well, it's quiet right now, but it's certainly going to spruce up during the weekends of the summer. Jeffrey Bannon's joining us now to talk all about some of those really cool events that you can check out. When you think of a train, an historic train, you might not think about wrestling, but you guys are combining the two.
Yeah, it's called a Railway Rumble, and we're also doing a concert called Train Stock. So we're excited to have both these events launched in August. And our motto is it's more than just a train ride. So to get people to come out here and experience a unique experience at the Prairie Dog Central Railway.
So you're just looking for unique ideas to really collaborate. And what's the idea around that? To get people more interested in the history?
And also to have people that have never been here. Like before I took this opportunity, I've never been to the Prairie Dog Central Railway. So if you're a fan of music, you're a fan of wrestling, you're going to come out here and hopefully come out and say, hey, this is really cool. I'll bring my kids, my family out. And it's another way for us to get people who never even knew we existed.
And some really niche stuff too. So if you're an enthusiast, for instance, of Spider-Man, what else do you guys have?
Yeah. So like I said, from K-pop, Ghostbusters, Toy Story, to the end of the day to, all the Marvel characters, and our Princess Ride's very popular. And at the end of the day, we want to just continue to bring people here who haven't been to the Prairie Dog Central Railway.
And a romantic spot, why is that?
We want to, as soon as we get our liquor license, we want to host date nights. We want to do the Yuck Yuck comedy tours. We just want to have a place for everyone in all age groups, and we feel having a wine and charcuterie, whiskey and cigar on night on the train would be a really cool concept.
You know what though? I was leading you to wedding. Which is funny because but it's okay. It's okay. It's also romantic to go to a comedy show and eat charcuterie. No worries about that. Yeah. But you actually want to get people married on this thing.
We do, and we feel you can have married, do your photos, get married here at the tent in our Y, that turns the train around. We just feel that this is a unique opportunity, and not everyone is getting married on a train, so why not be one of the first ones?
Awesome. Cameraman Kenny's been showcasing this steam. Tell us a bit about it.
So this is the 1882 steam engine. This is our famous number 3. It came from Scotland, and it's our rock star. It's our Taylor Swift. It's our Mark Shifley. This is the 5th oldest steam engine in North America. We believe it's the oldest one in Canada, and this is our pride and joy, and we're very proud to be to have this part of our fleet.
How can people find you guys if they're interested in these events?
pdcrailway.com. Check us out, and it's all there.
Thank you so much. I got to show you some of the really cool merch too. So if you guys come down, you have to head out to the gift shop. That's all I'm going to say about that. We'll see you guys again at 8:38.
Yeah, what a beauty. And out there in the sunshine, too. Although we are starting to see a few more clouds building up as we look now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. But those clouds that have been building up, they're kind of like the thin, wispy clouds, making it look maybe a little bit more whitewashed, but not like an overcast day. You're still going to enjoy some of that sunshine. Not everyone is so lucky, though, and I'll show you where in the province things are looking a little different. Right now with that sunshine though, and I'm going to call it sunshine even with those thin clouds. 14 degrees. We are warming up. 12 at the moment in the Portage La Prairie area, 11 Morden Winkler. So we're seeing double digits all through the southeastern side of the province where the clouds are actually heavier. Slightly cooler temperatures, but high single digits, not a bad way to kick off your morning. Moving up into northern Manitoba, and you're already on the rise. Look at Lynn Lake, 12 degrees already, 6 in the Churchill area. You too could be reaching double digits with plenty of sunshine across the north. Here's the satellite image, and you can see it is quite clear across northern Manitoba. I told you I'd show you where the clouds are. Well, it's actually more than clouds. There's a bit of precipitation through the southwestern part of the province, running up along this western border and this band through the central part as well. Overall, though, On the sunnier side, we'll see those clouds building up through the day today. 20 degrees by the time kids are coming home from school, and 21 our expected high is bang on what is normal for this time of year. So seasonal temperatures on tap. With those building clouds will come the precipitation. Mostly contained overnight, maybe lingering into tomorrow morning, but clearing throughout the day. Slightly cooler temperatures Saturday, a lot warmer on Sunday, and a lot warmer yet for next week. This is when the mercury really bumps up, pushing up into those low or maybe mid-30s with plenty of sunshine on the other side of the weekend. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Are you ready for Slamdemonium?
What does it mean for you to be part of Slamdemonium 2?
It means everything. To get that opportunity to wrestle someone like Victoria Crawford and really get to prove myself. It means the entire world.
Awesome. Okay, let's come down here to Jay Carter. Jay, what does it mean to you to be part of Slamdemonium 2?
It's great, you know.
Slamdemonium 2 is happening this weekend in Kitchener. For those who work in Ontario's indie wrestling scene, this is their WrestleMania. It's a chance for them to put on a show in front of a big crowd with some big names. Slamdemonium has also raised $10,000 for Kids Ability. Your cell phone will be used to reach you by the RCMP at select detachments in Manitoba. Manitoba RCMP is launching a new way to notify people when they need to reach people with important public safety messages. The pilot program is called Rave Mobile Safety, and RCMP will notify Manitobans of alerts through text messages, emails, or automated phone calls. Joining us now from the Manitoba RCMP's Crime Prevention Services is Corporal Terry Sundell. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for joining us. Now, first of all, tell us why the RCMP would need to alert the public en masse like this.
Well, first of all, what Rave is, it's a voluntary opt-in messaging system that helps the Manitoba RCMP deliver timely public safety information to the specific communities that they serve. It's meant to be a complementary system to our current social media and other communication methods. And it's meant to promote public safety, crime prevention, and community engagement.
So how does it work exactly?
So when a public safety situation happens, an RCMP employee will send a message out to a specific community, to the people that have signed up. And that message can be received by however the user wants to receive it. So when they sign up, they get to choose if it wants to be a text message, an email, or even a phone call. So although this communication system does target cell phones and mobile phones, it can also work if you don't have one. You could receive a phone call at home.
Okay, so would it be used in situations where the community either has a wide threat that everybody needs to be aware of, or would it be used if there's an impending storm or something crazy happening like that?
Yeah, it's important to separate, though. If there is an imminent threat to the public, we do have Alert Ready in Manitoba, and this system will not replace that. So if there's any emergency that reaches the level of the criteria that would be for that, this won't replace that. But there is a lot of situations that would not meet that criteria, and this would be for that.
Can you give us examples of situations that would meet that criteria?
Sure. A bad accident that is closing a major artery for people to travel. An ongoing police situation that just hasn't hit that threshold yet, where we might have heavy police in an area. This can be used for just alerting the public that there's been a rash of break-and-enters in a specific area overnight, requesting people to check their property, requesting video surveillance, and things of that nature.
Okay, so you're selecting only a few communities to start with this pilot project. Which communities are part of it, and why were they selected to start?
So 9 communities are taking part in the pilot. We did some consultation with our 3 districts in Manitoba, being the North, West, and East districts. So it's going to be in place. It is in place right now in Norway House, in Thompson, in Dauphin, St. Rose, Winnipeg Ostis, Oakbank, and Emerson and Morris. Elected with the district commanders, and we wanted to have a diverse group of detachments to test the system in those different areas and ensure that we can get feedback from the different communities across Manitoba before we do a final launch for all the detachments.
Okay, so you're going to do this for about 3 months. You're going to test it out, see how it works, and then what happens after that? What are your long-term goals?
Well, our long-term goals are to make improvements on the system, like throughout the pilot, based on the feedback from the public and from the RCMP members that are using the system. And when we do launch it, we are going to strongly encourage everyone in Manitoba to sign up for their local detachment or even neighboring detachment. Part of the RCMP's broader mandate is preventing crime through education, awareness, and meaningful engagement with the communities that we serve. The power really is in the connections with the people on the system, and even more so than the system itself. The more people that sign up, the more value it is. And over time, we expect that we will get a very high sign-up rate because we're going to keep these messages very direct. It's not going to be promotional materials for the RCMP, but it's going to be important information that people need to.
Yeah, and if you're in an isolated community, it definitely helps people to stay informed. All right, well, thank you, Terry, for this. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
From one Terry to the next, up here in the sunshine, it's still looking gorgeous. And I know I've been talking about the heavier clouds that have been building up, but this is what I mean about them being like just kind of wispy clouds. And it does look a little bit like whitewashed in some places, but I promise you, don't leave home without the sunglasses because that will be a decision you regret. It is still quite bright out here, and you're going to want to keep them close at hand. 14 degrees, so the temperature is very pleasant. A bit of a breeze now gusting to 44 kilometers per hour, so that wind has increased out of the south-southeast. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 58%. It is beautiful out here. The mercury already on the rise. We'll head to seasonal values today, 21 degrees being normal for this time of year. And we'll do it with a fair bit of sunshine, at least through the morning. A few more clouds building up throughout the afternoon. Now, there are already heavier clouds through southwestern Manitoba and moving through central Manitoba with clouds and some precipitation. That system tracking further into the north throughout the day. And as it moves further to the north, what's happening south of the international border will also push further to the north. That's going to bring some showers through the evening overnight. So things could get a little bit soggy tonight and maybe even those showers lasting into tomorrow morning, but then clearing throughout the day Saturday. Now Saturday will be a little bit cooler with the temperatures just in the mid to high teens, but then by Sunday with the sunshine back, we're headed up into the mid-20s, and from there it gets even hotter yet next week. Low to some models showing mid-30s. It is going to be a hot one next week with plenty of sunshine waiting for us. And as we're moving on into the weekend, this is the energy I hope we all embody. This is crazy hazel out in Grand Beach. That snow, that's going to be gone if we get the kind of temperatures we're expecting. Thanks to Michelle for the photo. Keep them coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
I'm with Dr. Gail Sawa today at the Sport Manitoba Clinic, and we're learning a little bit about platelet-rich plasma injections. What are they? We're about to find out. So over to you then. Tell us what they are. What are platelet-rich plasma injections? It's a mouthful.
Yeah, so platelet-rich plasma, or PRP injections, are a more natural injection because we actually draw your own blood. We spin it down to get a more concentrated amount of what's called platelets, which are part of the blood, and they kind of have healing properties and help with pain. And then we take that solution and we actually inject it back into your body in the affected or injured area.
Interesting. Okay, so it's your own blood, so it's not like you're going to reject it in any way. How long is this process? Is this something that happens at once, or does it take a while for you to draw the blood, break it down? Is it tell me, how does this work?
Yeah, so the actual appointment, I mean, at our clinic, we probably schedule you for about an hour appointment just so that we can draw the blood, spin it down, and then do a ultrasound guided injection into the affected area.
So it all happens in one visit?
Right, yes, one visit.
Okay, amazing. And then you say it's to treat pain. How does this work?
Yeah, so the platelets have just pain relieving properties, healing properties as well. So they have different growth factors that can help with healing. So different conditions, arthritis is a big one. So some people can get a PRP injection and have 1 year of relief from their pain. And it can actually help with the healing of certain tendon issues like the Achilles or patellar tendons, which can be very stubborn injuries for people.
This is fascinating. How quickly do people notice the kind of healing effects?
So if you're getting it for a tendon injury, you're actually probably not going to get immediate relief. You're probably looking at more noticing the difference at that 6 to 8 week period, and then sort of progressively more healing as it goes.
I think this would pique the interest of a lot of people, anybody dealing with, chronic pain or, as you mentioned, joint issues, these sort of things. Is it right for everybody, or how do they find out if it is right for them?
Yeah, so there's certain conditions that it's definitely really great for, and other things where maybe it's not the best. The best way is to make an appointment with a provider offering PRP. So you can give our clinic a call, Sport Manitoba Clinic, at 204-925-5944, or look on our website, sportmanitoba.ca/clinic, and book a consult appointment to discuss it and see if it's right for you.
Okay, this has been a fascinating chat. I feel like I've learned so much today. You've certainly piqued my curiosity. And if it's piqued your curiosity as well, check out the clinic to find out more.
This report is brought to you by Sport Manitoba, growing sport, wellness, and community.
62 people gathered in a pool in Poland for a major championship, but not in the sport you might think. The World Championships in diving chess took place last weekend. Matches are played on custom-built weighted magnetic boards, which are perfect for the bottom of a pool. Players have to make each move on just one breath of air. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We can pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. Today's code word is prosper. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter prosper with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Tune in Monday for another code word. Good luck.
14 degrees outside this morning. A beautiful start to your day. It is a little bit breezy, though. Those winds at the moment are out of the south-southeast, gusting to 44 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 58%. You can see those clouds that I'm talking about, kind of a little bit wispy, whitewashed clouds. Not so much that you can't see the sunshine, or that you won't find it pretty bright at times. So still, have those sunglasses close at hand. Here in the southeast, further to the east yet, very clear. Further to the north, very clear. Southwestern Manitoba is the soggy spot this morning, and along that western border or cutting through central Manitoba, that's where the extra clouds will be, with some precipitation to come. Now, we might see some of that precipitation moving through overnight, but throughout the daytime today, it'll likely remain on the drier side. 21 degrees is where we're headed today with the temperatures. That is bang on seasonal. Good news, but the breeze, not so great. Up to 50 kilometers per hour out of the southeast. Now, overnight, I mentioned the possibility of that precipitation moving through, dropping down to 8 degrees. 7 would be a normal low, but a little bit soggy overnight, still a little bit windy, and tomorrow we still could see that precipitation lingering into the morning hours. So you might want to take your umbrella if you're headed out for a walk first thing in the morning. However, throughout the afternoon, it will improve. We'll see the sky clearing out. It's not going to warm up much tomorrow, slightly below seasonal, but the big warm-up comes on Sunday when we're back up above seasonal, and an even bigger warm-up comes as we're looking ahead to next week with plenty of sunshine and some low 30 temperatures on tap.
There is a new timeline for the province's first supervised consumption site. Addictions Minister Bernadette Smith has confirmed the facility will open next month, but when it does, it will be a mobile site.
Some staff have been hired, so the director has been hired. They're interviewing some peer mentors right now and clinical staff, and then once they're hired and trained up, that's when the site will open.
Smith confirms Aboriginal Health and Wellness will run the mobile facility. People will be allowed to inject drugs in the trailer with the staff on hand to respond to overdoses, but they won't supply the drugs. Staff will also help guide people to treatment and other services. Mayor Scott Gillingham says it's imperative that all systems are in place prior to the opening.
One of the things that I've expressed, and I appreciate the Minister has heard me, Minister Smith has heard me on this, as of the Premier, to make sure that safety in the surrounding area is prioritized. I know that there's been a lot of dialogue between the province and Chief Bowers and the Winnipeg Police Service as well. There needs to be coordination. You see coordination here. Regarding the supervised consumption site, there needs to be good coordination.
The province maintains they're opening an urgent public health needs site, and they say they can do that on their own provincially. To open the supervised consumption site, they need the federal government to approve their application. Main Street Project is reopening its food bank and essentials market, but it needs some help. The food bank has been closed since mid-January due to smoke and water damage caused by the Manwin Hotel fire. It will reopen next Wednesday, but because most of the food items were destroyed, it needs help restocking the shelves. That's where you come in. Donations can be dropped off at 661 Main Street, Monday to Friday between 10 and 4. The most needed items right now are canned food, pasta, cereal, rice, peanut butter, baby formula, and hygiene products. The market supports 150 to 180 people and families each week. The Food and Nutrition Services team also provides more than 1,600 meals every day. Ottawa Fire Services says 10 fires so far this year have been linked to lithium-ion batteries. These figures come from a response to an inquiry from Barrhaven West Councillor David Hill. There are several factors that can put people at risk of battery fires. These include leaving devices plugged in long after they're charged, as well as charging devices on soft surfaces like beds and couches. Canada's military is chronically short on gear, so much so that it's now asking personnel in the Ottawa region to return some of it. Items like tactical vests are being handed in by members who are not part of a deployable unit. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver on what else is in short supply.
Thousands of troops in the Ottawa area are being asked to hand in some of their field gear to help compensate for what the Defence Department is calling critical equipment shortages.
It doesn't send a very positive message, even though it might be normal. It just indicates just how weak the procurement system is, how low the stockpiles are, and just how how much demand there is on operations right now.
About 10,000 troops received an email last week requesting they return rucksacks, patrol packs, tactical vests, and fragmentation vests. The Defence Department says the equipment will be reissued to deployable units. Personnel in non-deployable units do not require this equipment for their day-to-day duties. This, in conjunction with several other initiatives, will also help address potential shortfalls of items, particularly of highly demanded sizes.
The Prime Minister and government have very ambitious plans for this department, and so this is a bit of the canary in the coal mine. If we're having trouble on this micro level, it probably suggests that the department, we might need some support.
Ottawa has promised to scale up military recruitment and add tens of billions to the defence budget. But experts say changing that scarcity mindset and modernizing procurement policies will take time.
The CAF that we've got in 2026 isn't a reflection of Prime Minister Carney's budget infusion. It's a reflection of the funding environment 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago, and decisions that were taken at that time when they had far less money, not nearly enough to go around.
The department says requests like this go out from time to time and that the gear could go to Latvia to new recruits or be used for training exercises.
We have a traffic alert to tell you about now. A stalled vehicle is blocking the westbound middle lane on Chief Pegwis and Main. If you see any other issues out there, please let us know. The St. James Bridge, though, no issues there. Here's a look at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.75. It's a drop from yesterday's price, and the lowest price in the city is $1.52, found at Petro-Canada on McPhillip Street. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
And it's time now for your answers to our question of the day. Today we asked, have you ever received any surprise mail? Susan shared, I forgot about my check for my workers' benefit check. Was quite shocked. Marlene says, my friend Diana sent me a nice gift and letter by mail. It was a nice surprise from Moose Jaw. Phoebe and Felicity answered, we received a DJ music box in the mail from our Auntie Lisa and Uncle Jesse. That sounds fun. And for Helen, the biggest surprise she ever got was a letter stating she had won $10,000. I verified it before I started celebrating, she says. Thank you so much for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhill, who's been hanging out at the Prairie Dog Central throughout the morning. Hi, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning. I don't know if you can sense that we're moving or if the camera gets a little jerky. It's not
Kenny's arm being weird. We're actually moving right now. George Kurowski joins me to tell us all about the maintenance side of things and what it really takes to preserve a piece like this. So, George, it's a big job, but you do it well. Tell us about it.
Well, it's always a thrill to work on the 1882 steam locomotive, formerly owned by the CTV Railway. And it's the locomotive that helped build Manitoba. It was basically hired out to Winnipeg Hydro back in the days, and they built a lot of the power dam infrastructure on the Winnipeg River using that locomotive, hauling all the materials required for construction. And subsequent to that, it became redundant, and we inherited it around 1970. And we've been maintaining it. We've recently overhauled the locomotive, installed some new fire tubes inside it. There's 187 of those. That took us, the better part of a year to do the overhaul. And it's been in operation now for a few years, and we're getting ready for the Saturday and Sunday excursions. We'll be firing up the engine at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'll be arriving to build the fire. And we'll build up steam pressure up to 100 pounds by 10 o'clock. And when it comes ready for departure, we'll have it at 150 pounds at 11 o'clock to pull a train load of 300 passengers out to Grosse Isle and back for the day's excursion, and we'll do it again on Sunday. Yeah.
And, of course you don't want something to go wrong, but when it does, you're the guy to ask. When things are so old, it's the point, how do you make those adjustments?
Well, a lot of the equipment is old. We remanufacture it. We replace components as they wear out. We're very cautious of we do yearly inspections with the province. So maintenance is a year-round process. We spend the winter doing extensive overhaul maintenance procedures, and then once we're in the operating season from May to the end of September, okay.
No, it's okay. Maintenance procedures on trains. We'll have more another day. Head to a link on our website for more details.
It's so beautiful out there. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's beautiful out there too.
It really is, yes, quite pleasant out here. I am sheltered from that bit of a breeze, which has been increasing over the course of the morning, as too have the clouds, but it's still on the sunnier side out here. We're seeing a few heavier clouds off to the west, and it's off to the west, but there's been a lot more activity with precipitation all along that western border, moving up into central Manitoba as well. 14 degrees right now in Winnipeg. I mentioned that breeze increasing. Well, it's up to 44 kilometers per hour out of the south-southeast. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 58%. I'd still say keep those sunglasses close at hand. It's bright enough that you'll want them out here. Pleasant as far as the temperatures go, a little bit breezy. And that wind, like I said, will be increasing. So just keep that in mind. The clouds will also be increasing, bringing some showers, but not until overnight here in the southeast, whereas southwestern Manitoba and central Manitoba could see that precipitation dayside. We've got it rolling in overnight and could continue into Saturday morning, but then clearing through Saturday afternoon, although the temperature Saturday will be slightly cooler, a little bit below seasonal, but right ahead of a warm-up on Sunday that becomes a heat-up for next week with plenty of sunshine and some 30-degree temperatures on tap. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
It's a great time to be a Montreal hockey fan. The Habs are still fighting for the Stanley Cup, and the Victoire just won their first Walter Cup. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin on the future of the women's game.
The Victoire's captain, Marie-Philippe Poulin, hoisted the Walter Cup. That sterling silver trophy now on home soil. Tell me about holding this cup.
Oh, amazing. It's so heavy, but it's so worth it. I think all the effort of this group, it's been unbelievable. And being able to come back to Montreal and share with our fans, it's super cool.
The First win for Montreal, a first win for Canada too in PWHL history. A victory for fans to savor.
I mean, this is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been working for. And it's not just about the PWHL. It's about women playing hockey in Canada.
The Victoire clinched the championship in Game 4 over the Ottawa Charge. Abby Rock's shorthanded goal off her backhand. Now that was a thing of beauty for the highlight reel.
I just saw my chance and I figured I may as well try to score. And I'm happy I could get it done and get Pooh out of the box.
Poulain. Her team was determined to do everything possible so the world and Olympic champion would also add this piece of hardware missing from her trophy case. But she says it's the team's win and it will serve as inspiration for girls now growing up dreaming of hockey glory.
Yeah, I was that little kid back in the day where there's not many possibilities for us. There was a lot of men's hockey, but the Karen Ouellet, the Kim Saint-Pierre, they paved the way for all of us, and being able to do that and inspire the young generation being part of PWHL.
And there will be a public celebration in coming days where the Victoire will show off the Walter Cup. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
It's an investigation that could change how you travel. A W5 investigation exposes how passengers are unwittingly helping traffickers move massive quantities of drugs through Canadian airports. Avery Haynes is here now to talk about the startling discovery that organized crime is infiltrating airport staff. Good morning, Avery. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Now, you've compiled the first publicly available data on how often bag tag switching occurs. What have you learned, and how does this scheme work exactly?
I'm going to show you exactly how it works, and then I'll tell you how many people we have identified as being victims of this. So when you go to the airport and check a bag, they'll put one of these tags on your luggage, and then you watch it go along the carousel into the airport, and you don't think about it again until you hopefully pick it up on the other end. What we have identified is a scheme where once it gets back into the areas that we don't have access to in an airport, in blind spots where there are no security cameras watching, a corrupt employee is simply unsticking your tag, resticking it onto a bag of drugs, and then taking your bag and putting it on the plane either with a rush tag or without a tag at all, and then taking the drug bag and putting it on the same plane. You get to the other end, and if it hasn't been detected, you pick up your bag and you look at it and you think, oh, there's no tag on it, but probably you're not worried about it. Meanwhile, on the other end, someone has been tracking that bag with an air tag that's put in the drug bag. They scoop up the bag and they walk out. The problem is that if that bag that is now associated with your tag is discovered somewhere en route, you are now accused of smuggling drugs. We have identified 17 times that this has happened in the past year, 16 of those from flights originating at Pearson. And these are people who have been trapped in the Dominican Republic for months trying to prove their innocence, in the Philippines, in Korea, in Germany, in the UK. So it is a large problem because we know if those numbers are just what's been caught. The really scary thing is there's no way of identifying how many times you may have been completely unaware of the fact that your tag had been used to take drugs into another country.
That is scary. Now, you've spoken to security whistleblowers. What are they telling you about the extent of organized crimes at Canadian airports?
So at Pearson Airport, through court documents, through intelligence reports that we have seen, as well as police sources, we know that there's a heavy presence of organized crime, the mafia, Asian crime gangs, Mexican cartels, motorcycle gangs. And what they're doing is they are paying off airport workers in order to move large quantities of drugs off planes onto the streets in these bag tag switching scenarios. I want to caveat that by saying that the vast majority of people who work at airports are honest, hardworking people, but all it takes is one or two corrupt employees working together to cause lots of problems for passengers as well as for our streets, with drugs getting from the plane onto our streets.
And for more on this and how to protect yourself from this happening to you, you should check out the CTV News' investigative unit W5. It returns with a 1-hour special called Trafficked: The Airport Conspiracy tomorrow on CTV at 7 p.m. on Crave and live streaming on W5's official YouTube channel. Thank you, Avery.
Thank you.
All right, it's a mild start to your morning. These temperatures have been climbing already. We're sitting at 14 degrees, though there is a bit of a breeze. It's out of the south-southeast. It's gusting to 44 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 58%. We'll see that wind increasing. The clouds will also be increasing, but will likely stay on the drier side here in the southeast along this western border. Bit of a different story. That's where we're seeing the rain. There will be more of that, not just on that western border, but cutting through central Manitoba as well. So places like Island Lake could be seeing some showers, but these temperatures are looking good, especially where the sun is going to be shining in the mid to high teens and even some low 20s. The furthest that you go into the north, the brighter and more beautiful of a day it's going to be. In that more central stretches where the clouds, some scattered showers. We need the precipitation. It's just unfortunate that it's coming at you dayside in the southwestern part of the province. We're actually lucky enough here in the southeast to get it overnight. 21 degrees is normal for this time of year, so nothing wrong with those temperatures. And some overnight showers could linger into tomorrow morning. A little bit cooler for Saturday, but then for Sunday, sunshine back again, mid-20 temperatures, and from there the low 30s are going to be carrying us throughout next week. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Well, Terry, the weekend's almost here, so we're going to send you off with some fun video. Many people don't like bugs, while some are downright terrified. This toddler's parents thought they would capture super cute and magical moments of their daughter at a butterfly farm. But things didn't really turn out that way. She was terrified of all the butterflies, especially when they got too close. Her dad had to convince her they didn't bite, but she still didn't seem convinced at all. So cute, though.
Aw, they're in her space.
Yes. She's so comfortable with this whole scenario. And now, what would you do if you found this in your lettuce?
Dying. Only you got a pet frog for $1.99.
That's a frog in the bag of lettuce. A man from Australia is sharing this, naming the frog Greg before releasing it.
Let Greg out of the bag.
Not what you want to find at all. Oh my goodness.
No, but I don't want
blends in
stuck in there.
Did you see that? And then finally, this feathered friend is gobbling up his newfound freedom.
Oh, I was not expecting this. Tim came in. He's coming in.
That is Tim the turkey, and to everyone's surprise, he decided to walk into the house. After scaring the cat, he made himself quite at home. Guess he's a house turkey now? Look at the cat.
Well, they left the door open.
Oh!
Are you in the house?
I knew you were going to do that. You sound way better than the real thing, Terry.
Well, thank you.
Well, that does it. How can I beat that? All right, that does it for us. Have a good day. We'll see you on Monday.